And we're back. Hello. I'm done grinding. I'm in the Adachi dungeon. So, for everyone following along at home that just missed probably about a third to 50% of the game, Natalie had a sick weekend, so I sat around playing Persona, and we did a lot of shit. Naoto is my wife now. Rise's a callous bitch fucker. And I have this Persona. And this Persona's busted. I'm just going to explain it to everyone at home. It's only weak to... It can only... Not even weak. If you look at its stats, it drains ice, it repels lightning, it repels light, it nullifies dark. So, those 4 things each cannot touch me. And it's only weak. It can only be attacked by physical fire and wind. I did some finagling and managed to grandfather in some abilities when I fused it, like absorb fire and absorb physical. Getting absorb wind in would have required me to grind another 6 levels, which would have taken me a couple of hours. So I said, fuck it, I'll have an Achilles heel and I'll move on. It knows this, it's a magic persona, and it knows this, which will double the damage of its magic attack. If I use it, it's not like passive. It has this, which makes it so I can't be innervated because that status effect pisses me off. It has this, which restores 8% of my HP and SP after battle. These 2 are gonna go, but then this is its ability. It deals severe almighty damage to all foes, which I think people don't resist almighty damage. That I've seen. Maybe they do. But essentially I'm God now, and I shouldn't have any problems for a while. I'm not saying I'm untouchable. There might be a way around this that I'm unaware of, or there might be something that fucks me. Like, if they used, like, Fire Break and that stuff that makes it so you can't resist fire, maybe that will get rid of your repelling and nullifying as well. But, long story short is, I'm going to go into every battle, and I'm going to hit this button, and we're going to Horn of Gabriel some people, and it's going to do a dick load. And I'm just going to keep doing that. And it doesn't even cost me any SP because I get 8% back after the fight. And I usually don't use enough that matters. So at this point, the dungeon should go pretty quick. Not sure, though. That's the hope. Everybody else is pretty leveled. Ooh, skill level up. For my main persona, I don't even know what that could possibly give me. Now I'm excited. Damn it. The one ability that I fucking hate. I should have thought about that. I've gained a level. It's fine if I got the electric one. It's nice to have that. I'm gonna get rid of it pretty soon, though. I don't want to use it. Because the almighty stuff seems to be fine, and I already have an electric person. So I can just replace it with, like, anything else. But yeah, every fight should be pretty trivial from now on. And I'm just gonna try to get to the boss, because I think after all the... Oops, ouch, Oh no, wind! Of course. Oh, and then I get silenced. Rise saved me. I take that thing back about you being a Cal's bitch. I didn't mean it. Nope, didn't even heal my status effect. Alright. Of course I run into the wind squad. I don't think it's gonna be a big problem that I'm weak to one element. And if it really is like fucking a problem, I can always refuse it once I'm a high enough level to get the immortal one, but whatever, just kill him. We livin'. We've recovered. We killin'. But yeah, and the Trumpeteer doesn't even have bad physical stat. It's not better than its magic, but it's like solid. So even if I do need to whack the shit out of something because I'm silenced, it's good. And yeah. Just started recording because I'm going through the dungeon. I don't want to miss anything. I don't think there's going to be a lot to do for a minute. Unfortunately, the almighty thing doesn't one-shot like everything, so the battles still have a little bit of time to it. But the good news is all the creepy hands that give you a bunch of EXP are weak. Or not weak, they don't get like knocked over, but they take extra damage from almighty damage. So hopefully we can actually snag a couple of those now. Don't miss, come on. But yeah, so this might take a second. I would just go back to listening to the video I was listening to while we're doing this, but that video is not a good idea to listen to on public airs. People arguing about illegal immigration and things like that in a way that is not a good idea. But yeah, we're just gonna almighty our way through everything. Hopefully I've reached the point where I can just mash X and win every fight. That's what we're hoping for. At the very least, I'm not... The important part is, barring a wind enemy, I am not in risk of losing a fight. I absorb physical attacks. Like, they heal me. And I absorb fire, and I absorb fucking, and I, like, bounce back electricity and shit. Like, it's really hard to kill me. Which is sick. But wind is the one thing that can still... Oh, nice. And when I get to level 73, I'll get Debilitate, which is a debuff that just, like, causes every stat they have to go down. And I don't even know what its last ability can be, but we'll get there together. This is the only 6 fusion persona in the game, so it's meant to be, like, busted. I fused six different personas together. Divine Pillar. What the fuck does Divine Pillar do? Lowers damage taken, but prevents dodging. That might actually be good on Kanji. Why not? Or just anyone who doesn't dodge. I also put a chakra ring. It's an equipment that I got from beating the secret boss of Heaven, the Heaven dungeon. And it makes it so that I fucking, I use half SP when I use spells. So, makes it so I never have to stop spamming. My SP is still full after all these fights, because I spend less than I heal at the end of the battle. Bonk. And now I just need to use this persona constantly and get those cards after the battle that, like, increase its magic and shit like that, and just, like, slowly become Lord of this realm. But this is probably the persona I'm going to use till the end of the game, unless there's some secret shit that I'm just not seeing. It's the only 6 fusion persona, and it's literally immune to all but one type of damage. So I don't know why I would ever stop using it. Like, even if there's a better choice offensively, like, oh, this one does more damage or would be better for this fight, it doesn't matter because this one makes it so I can't lose if they don't have wind. So I would never switch because I cannot lose fights unless they have wind or a way to get around my thing. So I've already been here. There's no exits on this floor, but to exit you can jump down to a lower floor. These guys look like they would be immune to light. Ooh, are these guys immune to light? This would be the first time. Is it blocked or does it do anything? No, it does damage. Shut up. What are you talking about? Light's no good. Yeah, I'm pretty much doing the same thing in every fight where the first 2 attacks are the almighty attacks like that, and then I just auto, and they can clean up whoever's still barely limping around. But yeah, this should hopefully be trivial, and I can just run through really quick. And I'm hopefully done with grinding for the game, but who knows? The last boss is level 95, I think, so... And I'm level, like, 71 right now. So no promises. Oh no, let's go this way. I've done this part before because I did a little bit of this dungeon before I decided I needed to grind, and then the fucking game crashed. So this is the way out. You jump in the hole in the ground. Oh, it won't let me yet. All right, never mind. I did a little bit of this, then I went to grind, and then my game crashed, and I hadn't saved in between because I'm a fucking idiot. So I've already done like the first 3 or 4 floors. I don't think I've fought in a boss yet, though. You say light's no good, but I see that light is pretty good on this one. I'm not even going to worry about light weaknesses anymore. I'm above such things now. I'm the perfect being. Just going to trumpet people to death until I don't have to do that anymore. Oh, that was bullshit. Come on. Yeah, it's nice that I still do normal attack damage when I hit rush. Ouch. That healed me. That's what I'm talking about. I'm just immune to damage. Unless it's wind. And there are confirmed windy boys in here. But I'm not even weak to wind. I'm just susceptible to wind. It won't, like, drop me or kill me or anything. Yukiko, fucking... Like, come on. It's funny that the shadow's in here because I think the shadow size is proportionate to their danger to you. And because I've already grinded a whole fuckload, they're all small. Onk. Yeah, just 50%'s them, and then she 50%'s them, and then we move on with our day. Pretty good. Glad that it was worth it, because I spent like a total of 7 hours doing it, essentially, between yesterday and today. I started grinding like right when you left, and that was 2.5 hours ago. And I pretty much non-stop just fucking ground.
There's an enemy immune to light. Someone finish this one.
Nobody's immune to light. Why do you keep saying that? They've said that so many times, and then I use light, and then nobody's immune to light.
Naoto-kun's pissed off. Try to calm her down. You're on a roll, senpai. 2 defeated. Good move,
It's crazy. And the nice thing is all these status effects they're trying to do with their moves won't ever work because I'm immune to physical, so I don't even take the damage to, like, risk the status effect. I'm just Lord.
Cool. Please come again. I leveled up.
I don't know what salvation is. That sounds sick, though. I want it. I wish I had evolved everyone's persona before this point. It's kind of lame that they're not. I hope there's still a chance to. Okay, so now that we see that we can't get out this way, we have to go back and jump in that hole, and then it'll take us to it looks the same, and it says the first floor again, but it's a different thing. What is on that crossing sign? Is that like a frog? Or like a shadow? Looks like hands. Maybe shadow crossing? I should be reading those. Adachi's talking a lot of shit. I'm sorry, I'll read those. I should have worked on my Johnny Young Bosch impression. Light's no good.
Light's no good on this one. I couldn't defeat it.
Thanks for the health. Thanks for the health. Oh my god.
Whoa, Kanji, that was great.
Listen, I earned this. I had to grind. I had to do a bunch of specific things. Oh, they reflect fire, by the way. Don't do that. Almost just one tap myself. Yeah.
I couldn't defeat
Got horn.
You can win this.
Now I just need him to learn resurrection magic or something. Because then I can't, literally can't lose. And I could just slowly revive people over time. Nice. Feeling nice, feeling thick. Shuffling. Drawing new cards, because none of these are good. Changing to Arcana. Change to Persona so I can get the shuffle bonus. Feeling funky fresh. Yukiko is fine. Stop worrying about Yukiko. Yeah, and I'm not, like, my SP is still full. I don't know what, I think it's because Rise restores a little bit. She has a passive, I think, that restores a little bit after every fight. And I think it's just enough to keep me topped off most of the time because I'm just spamming and my SP is not going down. In fact, Kanji and Naoto, whose SP wasn't even full going into this dungeon, now have full SP. So I'm definitely netting some health back in random places. Don't you deathbound me. Oh god. And now this happens. I want the magic up. I want the experience up. We'll change one to Persona. Just to see, and I don't want that, so I'll take money up. Anything that increases the magic at this point is... What? Why Kanji? Why? I leveled up and Kanji yelled at me. What the fuck?
Yukiko-senpai, you don't look so...
Bro, am I gonna have to heal Yukiko after every fucking fight? Ooh, hand. Alright, let's see how we do. Oh, it's just one. Oh my god, it's fucking enormous.
Don't let it get away.
You should summon more hands. But you summoned like 3 things. Whatever.
Don't give up now, okay? It's quite
Oh, the numbers on the big hand, for some reason, they decided to like multiply them by 10, but just give it 10 times the health as well. So don't be impressed by the damage on the big hand. That's a lie. It's over.
I couldn't do it.
Alright, now we need this to increase. Also, I learned that increasing attack, the things that say increase attack also increase your magic attack. It's both. So doing this also helps my mages, which is nice. Don't you fucking silence my important guys. Okay, good. Oh, don't fear me. I'm supposed to be immortal. You can't just fear me like that. Okay, nice. Unfeared. Okay, this should do a dick load. Hopefully it doesn't miss because he used the evade up thing. It missed, of course. If that had hit, I think this would kill, and now I'm sad. And this is going to miss, though, too, so who cares? Oh, it didn't. I don't know what to do now. He's Persona. Can't use skills. Wham. Don't run. Fuck. This game sucks. The hands running are... This gives me such fucking... Like, my stomach is... I'm just angry. I had it so close to dead. I missed one move, and it's like, see you, fucking idiot. I was legit about to say, see you, nerd. And I've been watching so much Destiny that my brain told me, you're going to say the N-word. So don't finish that. Not that he says the N-word or anything. Just, like, think about what you say. And I was like, see you, and I was like, whoa, that's almost something that could be bad, so I shouldn't say that. I'm very tired. I got my meds, though. I'm feeling good. Feeling alert. Why do you have a wind spell, bro? Nobody likes you at parties. Well, I'm gonna bring the one thing that does something. Yeah, real cool. Ooh, I can take damage from life leeches. Alright, we have to learn the extents of our new abilities. We can be leech-lifed. I'm immortal after all. I feel like the final boss. It's like you find one piddly crack in my armor and think you've won. But you have no chance. I'm like fucking Aizen. He can hit me, so he's gonna do it. He has to let me know I can bleed. Spiteful little shit, huh? Obtained a Gomo. Also, Yukiko knows this now, which just 30 SP and it heals my whole party to full. That's just what the text says. It's just the best version of media. And it just heals exactly as much health as they have. So that's sick. I don't see how I can lose now is the real question. Sandcastles.
Look out, it's immune to physical attacks.
I don't use physical attacks, baby. Yeah, I haven't found anything that just doesn't take damage from Almighty so far. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, I'm just saying it's very rare at the very least. I don't see it often. Often enough to remember.
It's quite tenacious. It's over.
Oh, they're weak to that. Nice. Wait, they hit him with the chair. Or the pot lid, whatever this is.
Yes, I leveled up.
The boss of this dungeon is apparently level 75, and I'm already almost that level. And I've never even been on par with a boss before, and I usually win pretty quick in the grand scheme of how many tries it takes. Not pretty quick in how long it takes to kill these fucking bosses, but it's usually pretty quick. We're just gonna keep mega horning our way through this. I do kind of wish this animation was a little quicker. But this is the price we pay for power.
I couldn't defeat it.
Oh, the absorb attack. Stop, stop. No, shit. I left it on auto.
You can win this.
All right, you know what? We're gonna switch over to the YouTube mode. We'll watch a video. We'll do something together. I need to turn off the sound for Persona though, so give me 1 minute before we do that. Agadine. Oh, you reflect that. Good to know.
Go for it.
How about lightning? Do you like lightning? Here's a video on Hunter x Hunter. Let's watch that. Persona! If this game freezes again, I have saved several times, but like, I have a very low tolerance for backlash at this point. I will cry and stop playing for the day. I'm not gonna finish it. I know you're worried about that. And the thought did cross my mind once I married Naoto. Not married, but romanced her. Once that's off the table, like I've achieved my goal, I do kind of stop giving a shit, but I'll finish it. I'm a simp at heart. In a different way than Hunter is. Okay. Turn it all down. Perfect. And I'll read any Adachi lines that I see, but let's watch this.
Hunter x Hunter is dead-ish. Dead-ish. Which means that it's also alive-ish.
Here we go.
Alive-ish. I suppose it's time that we have a very serious discussion. Hello and welcome to the New World Review, your source for everything anime and manga. My name is Liam and happy New Year, New Worldian people. What I'd love to tell you is that we have a very exciting content-packed year planned ahead, but that wouldn't be, well, that wouldn't be entirely the truth, would it? It's time to have a frank, honest, and perhaps even painful discussion regarding our beloved Hunter x Hunter, a series that despite its complete and utter absence from the world, still manages to capture hundreds of thousands of views on this channel. It is both shocking and humbling to be part of this life support fan base. And while I don't plan on stopping with Hunter x Hunter anytime soon, we have a bit of a big problem. Because it has now been over 3 years since the last chapter of Hunter x Hunter was published, making this by far the longest hiatus that the fan base has ever endured. And whilst I do enjoy the idea of, it always being darkest before dawn and all that kind of stuff,
I'm sure it's coming out tomorrow.
Feeling of bleak abandonment.
One more day.
So we're going to
Hold
distract
out.
ourselves with a quick round of Togashi Gone. A very simple minigame, the rules of which are as follows. Yoshihiro Togashi is hiding behind one of these 3 Gons. And it's going to be your job to guess which is the one where Togashi himself has gone. Now, should you guess incorrectly, then your punishment will be to subscribe to the New World Review, thus resulting in consistent injections of Hunter-based culture being administered directly into your YouTube feed. And if you are correct, then you can pat yourself on the back and I don't know, have a wank. I don't care what you do. Pick an activity of your choosing if you're correct. So where is Togashi? Choose your Gon now and we shall reveal the answer in 3,
Top.
2, 1.
Bottom left.
Bam! It was none of them. Because in this case, Togashi is truly gone. So if you guessed incorrectly,
Nice.
and that should be most of you, except for a couple of smartasses, then you know the thing to do, and please do say hi in the comments below if you are a new member of the association. Welcome. So, what's the situation? Well, as I said, we are now in the beginning of our 4th hiatus year. And for some fun numbers there, in 2021, Hunter x Hunter celebrated. I mean, celebrated is probably not the right word. But Hunter x Hunter celebrated having exactly 1,000 days without having published a chapter. And for some context, conversely, in 2021,
Very morbid.
we celebrated publishing 1,000 chapters, as well as 100 manga volumes and 1,000 anime episodes. And remembering that Hunter x Hunter is only a year younger than One Piece, this was definitely quite the bittersweet occasion. Oh, and here's a bonus fun fact. This channel, the New World Review, started covering Hunter x Hunter in June 2019. Meanwhile, the last published chapter of Hunter x Hunter was released on November 26, 2018. So weirdly enough, New World Review has never been making content at the same time that any Hunter x Hunter media has been published. So this channel is, I suppose,
Stop,
acting
please.
as a true gap filler, pumping your veins full of delicious Hunter proteins until the hopeful return of our Lord and Savior. Speaking of, let's have our annual Togashi update. Where has this man been since November 2018? That was an unintentional rhyme, but the answer is, surprisingly, nowhere. Other than Hunter x Hunter, the last recorded work we have of Togashi was his collaboration on Akuten Wars, which is fascinating because Togashi wrote the story whilst it was illustrated by Hachi Mizuno. And I go to the trouble to point that out because it almost feels like a test run for continuing Hunter x Hunter. We'll get into this, and there is a huge call for Hunter x Hunter.
Don't fucking spend this whole time saying that it's not gonna happen, then kind of like pull me back in.
So it is interesting that we do have an example of such collaboration, even if it hasn't amounted to anything as of yet. Although in fact, maybe that's the reason why we haven't heard anything yet. Perhaps Togashi hated this experience and has doubled down on his philosophy. As for a physical sighting though, Togashi was spotted in August 2018, attending a Kerekizaka 46 concert, which is one of those mega idol groups that I think has a different name now, but think something along the lines of AKB48, but it's just probably not as good. Not that I know.
What are these words?
Don't follow idol groups. Interesting that Togashi is an idol fan. Interesting, not surprising. He fits the stereotype quite well. About a year later, in April 2019, Togashi made a recorded public appearance at a restaurant named Fromatic, which we know because he drew them a shikishi featuring Gon. A very good Gon, I might add. Which is
Oh my
notable
god, I
because
want
his
one of those.
ability
That's
to make
sick.
drawing even simple art quite difficult. Oh, and he was also there with his wife, Naoko Takeuchi, who also drew a Sailor Moon shikishi, as she is the author of Sailor Moon.
I should put this in
Slightly
full screen.
pretty
What am I
damn
doing?
pleased if I
Amateur
were at a
hour.
restaurant. Having 2 heavy hitters of the manga world enjoy your food so much that they turn your walls into manga history. Next,
That's
Togashi
super
was
cool.
seen in September 2019 attending the Yu Yu Hakusho stage play. And at the show, a fan asked them to sign their ticket, to which Togashi generously obliged. However, this is where I guess I get a bit concerned, because unlike the flawless image of Gon at the restaurant, Yusuke here looks like he's been quite a difficult task to pump out.
What,
I
he
don't wanna
fucking
go
was
too
probably
deeply
doing
into
it
this,
standing and shit, who knows?
Maybe Togashi just had to draw him on a very uneven surface,
Yeah.
or something like that. But it's still a bit of an artistic shock to go from Gon to Yusuke, and I think this is definitely definitely an indicator of the aforementioned medical issues.
Relax.
In December 2019, we received the sort of news that we have been waiting for, although it was not good news. On Twitter, someone posted their interaction with an editor from Shueisha, to whom they directly asked about the status of Hunter x Hunter, and this tweet read as such. My colleagues just casually asked about how he was doing when the editors from Shueisha came, and if there were any plans on bringing back Hunter x Hunter anytime soon. They said that he is still suffering from back pain, so no further plans just yet. That was December 2019, and to the best of my knowledge, we've neither seen nor heard anything at all since. To be fair, if there were a set of years to be missing from the world, 2020 and 2021 are most understandable. Togashi was rarely seen in public when the world was still functional, so it's not surprising that he's been completely MIA over the past 2 years. And of course, Shueisha themselves have kept very tight-lipped about everything. On this matter though, there is an interview from Togashi discussing the future of Hunter x Hunter pre-hiatus, which I think is important to highlight here because he said, "They let me do what I want. The series I'm working on right now might be a huge problem from a different point of view than mine, but I'm really enjoying it. I think there are two types of readers. Those who don't care if I draw my stories or not, and those who want to read a manga written and illustrated directly by me. I still don't know how to balance this problem to satisfy the majority of my readers. Generally, I think it's okay to leave the illustrations to someone else," which I personally find quite hopeful. Because obviously the ideal scenario would be for Togashi to be magically healed by Nanika and just continue on his own. But given that this is unfortunately reality, I would be incredibly keen to find the right artist to bring Togashi's story to life. And Togashi, while he does seem to land on that side of the matter, was evidently worried about what fans would think. Would they accept a Hunter x Hunter without his hand guiding the visuals? Well, we can gauge this because I conducted a poll on New World Review, and the overwhelming majority of people said that they would be
2,000 people. That's not bad.
With a new artist, maintaining Togashi as the writer. And usually I try to keep polls
who
open
cares?
for a lot longer than, an hour, but the avalanche of responses here made it clear that the overall percentage was not going to change radically. Because whether it's 96, 95, or even gasp 94%, that is still a very decisive result. With some of the comments including, Togashi could literally just release a dialogue outline for the rest of the series with the panels being described in lengthy paragraphs, and I would be more than happy. Personally,
yeah, it's true.
I think I did probably want a bit more than that, but I get you. As long as it's Togashi writing the story, I'll be happy. But we also have the very important counterpoint which does exist, and that is, I disagree. Art is part of his storytelling. And I do begrudgingly agree with
listen. I agree that the art is important, and I'm not saying that it won't be missing something, but for me, it comes to a point where we can like salvage it through anime. Like, as long as the story gets made, we're going to eventually adapt the anime, and the art style in the anime is close to Togashi's, and I feel like there won't be a super duper substantial difference. All that matters is that the story continues so that it can be made in other media, and we can even if the art is bad and whack in whoever he chooses to draw it for him, even if it looks nothing like that, the anime already has its art style and it doesn't need to change. So we're going to get something that's pretty close to the full experience. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's enough as long as we just keep the ball moving. It doesn't matter who's moving it or how. And as long as the guy guiding the ball is the same guy, you know what I mean?
Writing manga is not like writing a screenplay or even a play. It's not done with the thought that you're going to hand this work over to someone else for them to ultimately bring it to life. The manga process evolves in tandem. Dialogue is written whilst pages are constructed, and they inform each other in a very organic process. So we would certainly lose something if Togashi were to hand over the illustration process. Things might feel a bit disconnected because Togashi's vision may not match that of the new artist. However, we also stand to gain quite a bit, because so long as we have a trusted, talented artist, they could even potentially add a new dimension to Hunter x Hunter that could enhance the series. So something like this is always quite high risk, high reward. And yes, there's always the question of authenticity and then the desire for such stuff. Because is it really still Hunter x Hunter if it's not 100% Togashi? And look, we could ramble on about that for all eternity because it's a very philosophical question.
It's already made by a group of editors. It's not like it's only him right now.
Final chapter currently released, because he said that he had completed storyboards for a further 10 chapters. So in the very worst case scenario where Hunter x Hunter never continues, I imagine that those would probably be released someday, and we might receive a bit of closure as to where the series was heading. And 10 isn't a lot, but it also kind of is. With the amount of
it's more than zero
that Togashi has just crammed into the Succession War, 10 chapters could actually go an awfully long way. And something we do need to quite legitimately take into consideration now, though, is age. When we were discussing this hiatus 3 years ago as it first began, age was not a primary concern. However, Togashi is now 55 years old, which for a a mangaka who has been drawing their entire professional career is well and truly hitting that retirement zone. Sure, you do have some seemingly immortal authors like, say, Hirohiko Araki, who is 61 years old and still planning to continue JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Hell yeah, dude.
What a boss. But most authors aren't quite as durable as him. To compare things further, the author of One Piece, Eiichiro Oda, is only 47. Quite the comparative spring chicken, so it's much easier to see One Piece continuing for another 5 to 7 years. Hunter x Hunter, though,
forever
has come off hiatus.
I imagine Oda will not stop at a reasonable time. I feel like if he was going to do that, he would have already done it.
And I think that might lead to the question of, would you like to see a continuation?
At least that's the mindset we always hear, is that the only person that loves One Piece more than the fans is Oda. Like, Oda just fucking loves drawing One Piece, and that's why where he's like, oh yeah, it was supposed to be over 3 years into it, but I just kept doing shit and it worked. And it's like, well, it seems like he's never gonna want to stop doing shit like that, you know what I mean? So I don't imagine there's gonna come a point where he retires willingly, unless he like well and truly finishes One Piece and is, I mean, to be honest, okay, so I'm gonna take all that back. To be honest, once One Piece ends, I don't think you continue. Like, you've done it. Why even try? Like, you're not going to make another One Piece. I'm sorry. It's not even about like how talented you are. It's not that I don't think you're capable of it, but like, you're just not going to do that. I don't believe that you could pull out another one. It's just, you know, it's the Notch problem where he like made his magnum opus on the first try. Minecraft is sick. Sometimes you just got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And you're not going to make another Minecraft. Minecraft is the only thing that is what it's like.
Has no Togashi involvement at all. I didn't do a poll on this, but I feel like the answer would be much more negative. Almost like the Kentaro Miura situation, where it's probably for the best just to leave Berserk alone, rather than risk ruining it. But when it comes to Hunter x Hunter, my thoughts are more along the lines of side stories, like say the Hisoka one-shot chapter by Sui Ishida, which, fun fact, started as an April Fool's joke. But the response was so overwhelmingly positive that Shueisha made it happen for real, because that's how ravenous Hunter x Hunter fans are for any kind of content. So why not give other mangaka some space to create stories in this world? I think that would be fun. In terms of animated projects,
donate it to the people.
Not much that can be done without a solid chunk of story to animate. However, there is always hope for a project surrounding
manga Hisoka is so gross.
It's a condensed independent story that could easily be told over a miniseries or even a one-shot OVA. And I am perpetually shocked that nothing like this has been done yet, because it's practically a license to print money. Fans would go absolutely insane for something like that. And by the time we do get around to maybe animating it in an actual anime series, if that ever happens, the OVA will be so old that a remake will be warranted. But as for the most important question, I asked all of you whether you think Hunter x Hunter will return in 2022. And the results are, as expected,
no.
With over 80% of voters saying no, it won't return, and 30% throwing their lot in with the idea that Hunter x Hunter will never return, period.
I don't think it's coming back.
An uphill battle at the moment, but good on that 16% for retaining some kind of optimism.
For me, I don't know. I'm not a very motivated person through passion and like what the fuck you want to do with your life. But for me, when you're this guy, you've already made Yu Yu Hakusho, which everybody loves. Everybody already has the opinion that Hunter x Hunter is goated. Like, you don't have anything really to prove there. You're married to the chick that made Sailor Moon. You're old enough to retire. I guess I can understand the pressure of feeling like you're letting down your fans and stuff, and like you don't want to leave it like that. But like, just fucking retire, dude. You know, like, the Band-Aid's already ripped off is what I'm saying. Like, the hard part of like ending your series and ending your career and with that, like, it's already done. The damage is done. Everybody's already been hurt. Just stay out. That's what I would do. Like, nobody's ever going to be happy.
And as for this channel, we will continue making Hunter stuff as long as you want.
Oh my god, skill card 10.
I feel like I still make new discoveries every time I go back on the series, and somehow there is always more to talk about. So even if Hunter x Hunter itself remains vacant for 2022, we will remain to provide that fix.
Oh god, don't lose it, don't lose it, don't lose it. 250/50s. Oh, I didn't lose it. Let's go.
I look forward to seeing you there.
What skill card 10 give me? Ooh, the thing I already have. Cool, cool. Fuck. That's so upsetting. It gave me the almighty skill that I'm using right now. Let's listen to this. Here you go.
One Piece world has no shortage of monsters. Impossibly strong cannibals, unkillable dragon demons, as well as unstoppable crescent mustaches. But then, beyond all of that, there's an even greater monster. A devil capable of striking fear into each and every one of them. And its name is Rocks. Hello and welcome to the Grand Line Review, your source for everything One Piece, and today our mission is to explore one of the most chilling pieces of One Piece world history, a time when the very fate of the planet really did hang in the balance, dangling quite delicately at the mercy of one Rox D. Zebek, quite possibly a literal devil given the whole middle initial D thing, or at least that's how he'd definitely be viewed by those who rule over the world. And in fact, with that in mind, you could say that one of the greatest tricks the world government has ever pulled was convincing the world that this particular devil never existed. However, I'm afraid that Zebek was terrifyingly real, and his continued effect on creation does remain to this very day. And in order to protect yourself from the will of Rox, my suggestion would be to activate a barrier by pressing the subscribe button for the Grand Line Review, as doing so will mean that when Rox comes to get you, he will instead be distracted by regular One Piece content uploaded straight into your YouTube feed. This is the only known method to stop him, so please do comment down below if you have decided to thoroughly protect yourself by joining the Grand Fleet. Welcome. But our Rox-related journey very much begins in the modern day. A relatively peaceful time, well, with the exception of all of the piracy, a global revolutionary uprising, and rampant government corruption. Other than that, it's pretty peaceful though. However, this status of sort of peace is currently under threat by the news that two of the four emperors have now formed an alliance. Charlotte Lin and Kaido, who is just Kaido. And this certainly is cause for alarm because such an alliance would annihilate the balance of global power and put everything we know and love at risk. However, the Marines and the world government see something more alarming than even that. An event that has been referred to as the birth of the most dangerous pirate crew in the world, as well as the return of the Rox. And this is a thought that sends a jolt of terror through the bodies of all who know the meaning behind this name. Meanwhile, it sends a jolt of profound confusion and bewilderment into those who do not. The ever-lucky summer children who have never known exactly how close they came to complete destruction. And this is because a mere 4 decades ago on an island known as Hachinosu, a profound group was formed. Under highly mysterious circumstances, a gathering of some of the world's most powerful and influential pirates at the time occurred, and the result of which was the decision for all of them to join forces under one banner, thus forming what we know as the Rox Pirates. And I really cannot understate just what an absurd effort this would have been to pull off. The 3 members I alluded to in the intro, being Big Mom, Kaido, and Whitebeard, are all incredibly distinct personalities and very much born for leadership rather than subservience, which is also indicated by the fact that all 3 of them possess Conqueror's Haki, an innate genetic trait thought only to be bestowed upon those destined to rule over others in some form or another. And so you've really got to think to yourself, exactly what kind of person is able to take these figures and successfully command them? Well, that is the great enigma of Rox D. Zebek. Whether it was charisma, superior Conqueror's Haki, or simply raw strength, Rox was capable of wrangling these monsters. Although that isn't to say he made them completely subservient. One of the more troubling facts regarding the makeup and practices of the Rox Pirates is that, as a group, they were extraordinarily volatile and would not hesitate to initiate violence or even kill their fellow crew members. Which is quite interesting because unlike most of the greatest pirate crews that we know of, there doesn't appear to have been any sense of fellowship amongst the Rox. And it does bring up many questions, such as this one from Chris Keel. I'm more surprised that someone like Whitebeard was part of this crew. He seems out of place to me. And yeah, he really does. Everything we know of Edward Newgate would paint him as an upstanding human being, not at all the cruel-natured creature that many of the other Rox pirates have been portrayed as. But Whitebeard could have been persuaded to join in many other ways, especially during his younger times. For example, he could have been on board to gather large quantities of cash money to send back to his orphan village. Because really, in many ways, you could more accurately describe this crew as a group of captains, each with their own individual pursuits of wealth, fame, and power. Many of whom would also later go on to have the direct desire to become the Pirate King, following the death of Goldie Roger. However, at this point in time, Rox was able to unite them, and in the words of former Fleet Admiral Sengoku, the purpose of this crew was to make one big score. Now, as for exactly what this score was, it's very difficult to tell, because Zebek was invoking the use of the sponsor of this video, NordVPN. Now, a VPN is essentially a service that protects your online privacy by securing and encrypting your internet traffic whilst changing your original IP address. And I know, that's a lot of crazy non-One Piece sounding words there. But to put it a bit more, bluntly, a VPN basically protects your data from those trying to spy on and or acquire it. And in this case, that would be the world government sending sneaky cypherpole agents to spy on all of your illicit online activities. I don't know if they're illicit or not, but they probably are, knowing you. Yeah, I'm talking about you. With that said, right now NordVPN is having a special deal with a discounted 2-year plan, plus an additional...
Why am I making you watch an ad?
This also has a third liberal with his personal ambition, which was to allegedly become the king of the world. world, which in many ways is quite a stereotypical goal in media to take over the world and such. However, in One Piece, this is actually quite a rarity. Major antagonists in One Piece do think big, but many of them are driven by the idea of becoming the Pirate King in the case of pirates, or achieving some sort of peace or justice in the case of the Marines. So it's a very, very rare figure who embarks on a mission of world domination, and it's an even rarer figure who actually comes within grasp of making that desire a reality. And for the majority of their reign, the Rocks Pirates under the command of Zebek were completely unstoppable, which does make sense because many of these pirates were already insurmountable challenges even on their own. But as a collective, they were on a whole new level of piracy. In fact, the Rocks Pirates became a faction that openly declared war on the world government, and they have been described as functioning as more of a terroristic organization, with their actions specifically designed to impact the world government and having a much bigger game plan in mind than your standard band of sea ruffians. In fact, the actions of the Rocks Pirates were so calculated and devastating that the world government even saw fit to actively hide many of their deeds so as to minimize the spread of terror throughout the planet. Very much like the meme of the dog in the burning house saying, "This is fine," but in reality, it's not fine. Because Zebek was actively threatening to burn down the entire institution, but the world government was at least able to convince its citizens that everything was under control. However, the plot of Zebek would come to a head on the equally as legendary location of God Valley, which if you'd like to know more about, I have an entire video detailing everything we know about that fascinating island. But for the purposes of the Rocks, this is where the legend would come to an abrupt halt. Here, Zebek and his crew were confronted by an unexpected alliance between marine legend Monkey D. Garp and the future pirate king Goldie Roger. And what's more unexpected is that both of them teamed up in order to at least partially protect the world nobles on God Valley at the time, which is quite intriguing because from the perspective of the world nobles, this was essentially a battle between three devils, a fierce clash of fate between those who had been chosen by the will of D, and one that ultimately saw the defeat of Rocks D. Zebek. However, this is the part of the story where things become even more unclear than they already sort of were. In addition to the entire island of God Valley, Zebek himself appears to have vanished from history after this event, and although Sengoku has stated that Zebek is no longer alive, the circumstances of this alleged death were never expanded upon. It's unknown if he may have been killed in battle by Roger and Garp, or perhaps even by the remainder of his own crew. Given their methods of operation, it certainly would not be unusual for the other members of the Rocks Pirates to deliver a swift death to their defeated captain, or perhaps Rocks was killed by an unknown third factor. Either way, following this incident, the Rocks Pirates officially dissolved, with each member going their separate ways and with many of them going on to become some of the most famous pirates to have ever lived. Meanwhile, in terms of the Marines, officially Garp was fully credited with the victory in this incident, and he then became known as the hero of the Marines. This was primarily in order to hide the filthy taboo of joining forces with a pirate, even if it was in order to overcome one of the greatest threats this world has ever faced. And really, to the best of our knowledge, this is the hardest battle that Garp has ever fought. Although I would like to clear up one thing that the anime has brought up, because when this flashback was adapted, there was a lot of filler added to it, much of which was introducing these fine gents as miscellaneous filler pirates. And according to the anime portrayal, they are all members of the Rocks. Canonically, however, this is not the case. These are not the Rocks Pirates. These are the Rocks Pirates. And I only go to the trouble to point that out because I think that adding the filler pirate significantly downplays the threat that the Rocks Pirates presented to the world at large. Every known member of this crew went on to become a superpower or a super name in their own right, and other Rocks alumni include Golden Lion Shiki, a man who nearly defeated Roger in warfare, as well as led a one-man assault on Marineford. Then there's also the legendary Captain John, who we best know as one of the corpses that Gecko Moria was able to acquire, and other named figures who we have yet to see a visual of, such as Silver Axe and Wang Zi. But this takes us to the legacy of Zebek. His life in this world may very well be over, but his influence and will well and truly live on to this day. I would actually go so far as to call Zebek quite possibly the most influential pirate in the history of the series, even more so than Roger, because the remnants of his crew went on to inform the entire piracy power structure that we see in the modern day. Big Mom, Kaido, and Whitebeard all went on to become recognized emperors of the sea, and now that two of them have formed an alliance, that act in and of itself is being hailed as the return of the Rocks. However, there is a much more sinister legacy lurking in the shadows behind all
the saber of Zebek.
much more potent inheritance of will presented in the figure of Marshal D-Teach, who himself is now also recognized as an emperor of the sea. But if there was any single figure in One Piece who best embodies the legacy of Rocks, then it would most certainly be Blackbeard. Firstly, because Blackbeard is not only another elusive wielder of the middle initial D, but in addition to that, he is also an aberration of the will of D, a figure who does not fit the patterns presented by our other known members, with the exception of Zebek, of course, who is also an aberration. In addition to this, Blackbeard has also inherited Hachinosu, the birthplace of the Rocks Pirates, and has chosen to use it as the base of his empire.
How dare you not call it
most clearly and
Full of lead.
powerfully solidifies Blackbeard's connection to Xebec is simply the name of his flagship, which is the Saber of Xebec. And whilst this ship has never been seen thus far anyway, its name was revealed in the One Piece Trivia Card databook prior to the revelation of Rocksteady Xebec in the series actually. And in the same way that the will of Roger is present within Luffy, it is now very clear that the will of Xebec is well and truly present within Blackbeard, meaning that the demon of Xebec still has yet to be completely vanquished. And whilst the world is currently focused on the threat of the remnants of the Rocks pirates, this is merely a distraction for an even greater darkness to emerge and take the planet by storm. But if you'd like to know more about the Rocks Pirates, then I'd highly recommend checking out my video on the God Valley incident. But please do leave your thoughts
Oh my
in the
god,
comments
I'm getting
below, and you can join the
fucking destroyed
discussion
by
on the
something.
Discord server.
There's a
Now
floor
let's
here
see
where
the ground line
Adachi
review.
comes in and he says I'm not allowed to fight anyone. And if I fight someone, it fucking sends me back to the beginning of the whole dungeon. And I've fucked up twice now, and it's making me take a while, and it's pissing me off.
God Valley. In many ways, it's your standard One Piece island.
all
Quite
good.
natural, outwardly humble, and highly unassuming in general. There's just one problem, which is that 38 years ago, this unassuming island completely vanished from existence. As for what happened and why, well, this is the story of God Valley. Hello and welcome to the Grand Line Review, your source for everything One Piece, and today it is time to delve into one of the most intriguing and mysterious islands in the series. That is not Laugh Tale or Elbaf or Lodestar or the Emerald City or any of the others, which of course leaves us with God Valley. Now, as we know, the One Piece world is mostly covered in vast ocean, and a lot of it is, well, less than charted, and as a result, there's a lot of places to hide on this planet, even for an entire island. However, this is one location that cannot afford to be lost in the dirge of history, and that's because God Valley was the site of quite possibly one of the greatest battles that has ever occurred in the One Piece world, which saw the birth of a hero and the fall of one of the most powerful pirate crews to have ever formed. Also, Roger was there, so that's always fun. There's an awful lot of crazy things that happened at God Valley, and today we're going to go through everything we know about the island, its historical significance, and why it has been erased from existence as we know it. Before we do that though, did you know that the world government does not want you pressing the subscribe button for the Grand Line Review? They think that this channel is full of dangerous pirate-related propaganda, but are you going to let them tell you what to do? No, you're not. Because you're a strong, independent subscriber, and you don't need no government telling you what to do. So press the button, which will also result in regular One Piece content being uploaded straight into your YouTube feed, but more importantly, telling that world government to just F off. Alright, now let's talk about some things that they don't want you knowing. God Valley is an existence that has only become known to us extraordinarily recently in the grand scheme of things, especially for anime watchers. And quite frankly, it is disgusting that after almost 1,000 episodes and 1,000 chapters into the series, Oda can still drop world-shaking bombs like this that completely restructures how we view the series. But let's start with the name, because it's probably more important than you may initially think. God Valley, an island that is just straight up delivered to us in English, or as close to English as we can get. I believe the Japanese is Goldobare. And English-named islands, well, they're not that uncommon in the series. I mean, half of Totaland's islands were just named after English foods, and even Long Ring Longland was solid, pure English, although it's a bit of a tongue twister in Japanese. Ronguringu Rongurando. Let me just say it with me 3 times. Ronguringu Rongurando, Ronguringu Rongurando, Ronguringu Rongurando. And wow, I did a lot better at that than I thought I would actually. However, very few of these islands have such a grandiose introduction that we were treated to with God Valley, having the name of the island flash up in bold English text in both the anime and the manga. Traditionally, this is not a way that Oda introduces, well, any island, even the more mysterious and silhouette ones. Which, speaking of, in the manga we were treated to this lovely mystery structure. It was very hard to interpret what it was, as it could have been either stunning natural geography or even a potential rising city of sorts. However, the anime did remove a layer of that mystery and cleared things up by portraying God Valley as quite a natural existence, seemingly untouched by humankind, that or an extremely old civilization that had been reclaimed by nature. As is often the case with One Piece, many things are possible, especially with a name like God Valley, because fascinatingly, the One Piece world isn't particularly religious. Yes, there are examples of society that do worship a god or even gods plural. However, by and large, there really aren't that many groups that put much stock into such beliefs, which is why I do find it difficult to picture God Valley as some sort of ancient sacred site. And a lot of this is also because of the fact that words like God and holy have been quite, bastardized in One Piece by world nobles. Whenever gods or anything along those lines are mentioned in the series, it is usually applied to the world nobles. But as such, God Valley has a very potentially strong connection to them, especially because they would appear to have been present at the time of the incident, which is infinitely intriguing. And before we proceed down that line of thought, in terms of the incident, the most notable thing about God Valley is that it served as the battleground of three of the world's greatest powers at the time. The Marines were represented in combat by one, Monkey D. Garp, a very young Monkey D. Garp, and this is actually where he earned his epithet as the hero of the Marines. And this is because he did the unthinkable 38 years ago at God Valley, where he brought down the Rocks Pirates, the most terrifying pirate crew to have ever spawned in the series, led by the very hidden yet charismatic Rocks D. Zebek. However, Garp did not perform this feat alone, and in fact he had to team up with another very well-known name, the future pirate king, Goldie Roger. And when I say future, I mean very far into the future. For some comparison, Roger became the pirate king 25 years prior to the current timeline, and the God Valley incident took place 38 years ago. So there's this pretty huge 13-year gap between these events. However, it is important to note that the God Valley incident happened after the Roger pirates reached the final island in the New World and discovered that the poneglyphs existed. So by this point, Roger had conquered more of the Grand Line than any other pirate, but he also had a very fierce rival in Rocks D. Zebek. In fact, of everyone who opposed Roger, including figures like Garp and Whitebeard, Zebek was said to be Roger's first and greatest rival, a relationship which would culminate on God Valley. But why here though, and why then though? Well, it may very well have to do with the ultimate ambition of Zebek, which was to become the very vaguely defined king of the world, which is fun because it's a direct antithesis of what Roger would go on to become. In Luffy's words, the pirate king is the person who has the most freedom in the world, whereas Zebek wanted to become the individual with the most control over the world. Control, yes, that word brings us back to the world nobles, because if one was going to achieve such a dream, then you would surely need to wipe out or supplant the current rulers of the world, aka them. As such, Zebek attacking God Valley to further that aim does make sense. However, what makes little sense to us at this stage is why the world nobles were on this island to begin with. One Piece has gone to some very great lengths to portray the world nobles as creatures who are not comfortable living anywhere but their holy land of Marijois. And God Valley, as much as we know absolutely nothing about where in the world it was situated, but the one thing we do know is that it was on the Blue Sea. A very strange place for the gods of the world to be unless they're on a brief vacation to do things like buy slaves. In fact, canonically, I think that's the only time we've ever seen world nobles travel to the surface. A slave auction at Sabadi and collecting fishermen slaves at Fishman Island. In any case, whilst they may well be horrid creatures, the defense of the world nobles was a key aspect of God Valley. In fact, Sengoku makes a special point.
Alright, I'm fighting a mini boss. I made it through.
The reason why Roger and Garp joined forces was in fact to protect the world nobles. Another very strange idea to grapple with because it's also been stated that Garp really has no sense of such a duty. In fact, the reason why he's remained a vice admiral this entire time is because becoming an admiral means that he would be under the direct control of the filthy world nobles. Meanwhile, Roger is obviously a D, and all who carry this middle initial are said to be the direct enemies of the gods, aka the world nobles, including Garp actually being Monkey D. Garp. So we actually have a very interesting situation happening here where two Ds are teaming up against a third D in Rocks D. Zebek, a true battle of the Ds, the likes of which we have never seen in the modern timeline, and probably won't until the eventual day where Luffy takes on Blackbeard. But whatever the case, it could only be a very desperate and dire situation to bring these figures into allegiance and conflict, and in the end, Garp and Roger were victorious. The Rocks Pirates were dissolved, and everyone lived happily ever after in a booming slave economy run by the world nobles. At which point,
Listen.
we come to question who the bad guys in this situation really are. But that also brings us to another question. If Garp and Roger were both successful and the world nobles were saved, then why was there a need to erase this entire island from history? And when explaining this phenomenon, Sengoku's words are very interesting as he says the following. That's because you won't find any map featuring an island called God Valley. As a matter of fact, God Valley itself vanished without a trace. The island the world government wanted to hide disappeared entirely. Do you still want to hear more about it? With that last statement there acting as something of a warning, you know, the whole maybe you don't want to be in a position where you know too much about this secret. But this statement heavily implies that the world government are responsible for misplacing this island. Which I do bring up because there are some very common thoughts out there that Onigashima, Kaido's island on Wano, may very well be God Valley, which given certain manga only at this stage information certainly is not the most impossible idea in the world. However, I do think that this is one of those situations where the fanbase has seen two smallish islands and just gone, holy crap, they're the same thing. With that said, I'll never rule it out entirely. One Piece has certainly done much stranger things. However, look, it's just a very clunky theory. Especially with how heavily it's implied that the world government was involved in in this incident, and they are perfectly capable of destroying islands all on their own, which we've seen at play with things like the Buster Call. I've also seen ancient weapons suggested, which I suppose would point to Uranus, because Pluton has remained quite hidden since the Void Century, and Poseidon wouldn't actually have existed at the time because Shirahoshi had yet to be born and inherit the ability. Natural phenomena also can't be entirely ruled out, like say a more extreme version of the knock-up stream that sent God Valley right up to the sky, but I really would suspect it's more of a sinister disappearance than that. And whatever the case, I still keep coming back to the idea that this location is, for whatever reason, monumentally important to the world nobles, perhaps some sort of land of origin, although even that's a bit strange because the origin of the world nobles was the 20 kingdoms uniting together, so to the best of our knowledge there really isn't one universal spot to indicate their birth, unless God Valley was the designated meeting point of these kingdoms and built a legacy that way, sort of like how Hachinosu Island is infamous for being where the Rocks Pirates initially formed. But even then, we're still left with two sort of options. Either God Valley was destroyed or it was moved. Maybe a third, maybe it was just hidden somewhere, somehow, and it was just erased from historical record. But my personal inclination is to believe that it was not destroyed, which is based entirely on Sengoku's choice of language. God Valley vanished. It wasn't eradicated or destroyed like say Ohara, which means that this could very much be a future destination, perhaps even a final battleground for Luffy versus Blackbeard, which would really mirror that whole Roger versus Beck inherited will aspect. Now as for what the Grand Fleet thinks of God Valley, we'll start with a mean guy who says it's got to be Emerald City. And if you don't remember what the Emerald City is, look, I don't blame you.
Bellamy.
It's a very obscure location that has only been mentioned once in the entire series by Bellamy on Jaya. He used it as an example of a fantasy location alongside the City of Gold, the latter of which did turn out to be real, but ever since then speculation on what or where the Emerald City is has always been quite rife. Although I do think that the whole God Valley is the Emerald City thought was popularized by the Return to the Reverie project, a fan-made series of 6 chapters which proposed some very ambitious fan theories, one of which is the Emerald City God Valley connection. I have to say though, I personally don't really buy into it, and it very much feels like a situation where fans are trying to make a profound connection where there is really no necessity to do so. Laugh Tale is the island to become king of the pirates, God Valley is the island to become king of the world, which is quite interesting and very possible. Like perhaps some sort of integral location in maintaining control of the world and very much keeping Eam on top of the empty throne. But also in comes Kopikashi with a thought that we do need to address, being God Valley is the same island as Raftel, and it is definitely not. And we know this because Roger didn't land on Laugh Tale until 13 years after the God Valley incident, and it was said that he and his crew were the first to set foot on Laugh Tale in about 800 years. So they are very different islands. It's also unlikely to be Lodestar Island because that still very much exists, where God Valley very much does not, or at least to the best of our knowledge it doesn't. Meanwhile, we have Paxton Moody with a very simple God Valley equals any slobby. I suppose implying that that gaping hole into nothingness is perhaps once where God Valley was, and any slobby was built around it afterwards, which, maybe. One thing this idea does have going for it is that any slobby is close enough to the Red Line to make it a convenient location for the world nobles to descend on occasion. But I have to say the most reasonable comment of God Valley I had would be Naru Hotel with, they have the best tacos. What can I say? You're probably right. But if you'd like to dive into this topic a bit more, then please do feel free to check out my video on everything we know about the Rocks Pirates, a very... Hello and welcome to the Grand Line Review, your source for everything One Piece. My name is Liam and today I feel a bit under the weather, as opposed to Zunesha, who is always so tall that it exists currently over there. And this elephant lad gave us a huge shock in chapter 1037, the out of context summary for which is as follows. The zoo is open. Not so much for people to come and visit, but more in a sense that the animals have all broken free. Elephants run rampant, a dragon has broken into the alcohol storage, and anarchy has ensued as we now appear to have a monkey fighting a fish in the sky. Whoever this zookeeper is, they are so fired. Unlike our subscribers of the day who are very much hired, and they are Na Nguyen, Dog D Shushu, and Will of My D. All three of whom did the amazing thing of pressing the subscribe button for the Grand Line Review, which will result in consistent injections of One Piece culture being administered directly into your YouTube feed. And if you want to be our next subscriber of the day, then hit the button and please do say hi in the comments below if you are a new member of the Grand Fleet, or even an old one. We like old ones as well. Welcome. Alright, this chapter blew my balls off, which is probably not a particularly well-worded statement to make, but what we have here is a full-on feature with Luffy versus Kaido. Easily some of the best choreography we've had on Wano as a whole. But Oda, being being Oda, that clearly isn't enough. So he also had to drop this insane bomb on us right at the end, which may or may not be related to elephants. I'm not sure. That last scene is actually kind of confusing and there is a lot to dissect there. But we're going to begin with the real meat and potatoes of this, which is Luffy versus Kaido. I'll leave it up to you to decide who is the meat and who is the potatoes. I feel like I say this a lot recently, but this chapter was kind of surreal to me because I am watching Luffy fight an Emperor of the Sea all on his own and he's doing pretty damn well. It's the sort of stuff that I never would have been able to imagine way back when in high school. So watching it play out has me much less hyped for what's going on and more just frozen by the fact that I still can't believe that we're finally here, which is part of the reason why I don't film my reactions anymore because they're just not interesting. You know, it's just 15 minutes of me sitting here staring like this. Despite the heavy action nature of 1037, this is also a look closely chapter. There's a lot of very, very nice details incorporated into the fight, my favorite of which is Luffy's final attack on Kaido, where he actually uses gear third on one foot to launch himself and provide the enhanced force to kick Kaido with his other leg. And seeing that actually made me go back and properly examine this fight. And upon closer examination, this is a masterclass of elements coming together. If you blitz through this chapter, what it probably looks like is that a pretty much base form Luffy is fighting equally with every form of Kaido. But there's a lot of switching happening here. No gear fourth action, but Luffy is constantly wielding his Swiss rubber knife, swapping between gear second, third, and conqueror's haki to put himself in the best position to strike Kaido. It's really clever and satisfying, but also incredibly subtle. Like, this isn't just Rubber Boy punching a big old fish. There's an almost painful amount of thought going into the raw strategy of what is happening on page in this fight. And that's before we even consider portraying it in any kind of artistically satisfying way. And another example is the initial kick he got in on Kaido. This is a case where Luffy activated gear second to give himself the speed to dodge, but then transitioned into advanced conqueror's haki to actually land the kick. It boggles my mind brain just how good these scenes are, and Luffy at this point is essentially displaying his skills as a world-class fighter, which is only making me more excited for the inevitable and literal gear shift, because as great as all of this is, what we're watching right now is still very much an entree. In fact, Kaido hasn't even moved on from pre-drinks. It's very interesting that Luffy isn't using a lot of gear fourth, but it also makes sense. I mean, it's pretty much an I win or I lose ability, because if you can't seal the deal, then you lose your haki, then you lose your fight, then you lose your life, and life is one of those things that you need to become the Pirate King, so you end up losing your dream as well. With that said, Onigashima, as we keep being reminded, is mere minutes away from crashing into the flower capital, so if there was a time to whip out an ability that, say, enhances all of your stats for 10 minutes or so, now is looking like a pretty decent time to consider using it. There are also a couple of nostalgia moments in this chapter. For example, Kaido being drunk took me all the way back to Act 1 of Wano, because those are the conditions under which he and Luffy originally fought. And with everything we know now, I'm assuming that Act 1 Luffy encountered Kaido's angry drunk phase because he sobered him up. Ugh, Kaido would be awful to go out with. Like, the happy drunk is fine, everyone loves the happy drunk, but the sad drunks and the angry drunks, they are the worst to deal with. I did enjoy seeing Kaido's various states of drunkenness. It was almost like trying to speedrun, giving a character some depth and personality. And I suppose what we've learned from this is that Kaido is a lot less like the beacon of power we once thought of him as, and the strongest creature in the world seems to have what is the strongest inferiority complex in the world, having practically unrivaled physical power but still being incapable of protecting even one skull mansion from a bunch of pesky brats. What a loser. But all of this is alluding to his failed ambitions. And the more I get to know Kaido, someone who is an Emperor of the Sea, and yet still seems to be functioning as a man of broken dreams, the more I see this, the more I can't help but compare him with Gecko Moria, Kaido's old quote-unquote rival, and another character whose dreams were shattered, and who lingered on in a rather
Still grinding.
trying to unleash
Not
more
grinding,
stuff on
but
the
trying to
world,
get to the
including
thing. This one's
good
bitch.
stuff. That's Kaido. He's throwing a tantrum because the world decided he was neither
Good thing I went to the
joy
video.
nor the boy that they were looking for, which with Luffy can seemingly go one of two ways. Either Kaido could recognize the true Joy Boy and step down like a boss, or this could infuriate Kaido further, and he could make it his mission to snuff out the actual Joy Boy. Either way, I'm loving the extended depth that Kaido is finally receiving, and I want more. Much, much more. Plus, the whole drinking thing is not as unique as I may have initially thought. Each of the emperors is something of an alcoholic when you think about it. Like Kaido downing his dragon booze here reminds me of the Return to Water 7 arc, when Whitebeard and Shanks both shared drink before they ended up doing the fighting. And Blackbeard, of course, well, he's a notorious drunken scallywag. So it's kind of just a token of Emperor culture. It's so rare that a good punch fight happens that you kind of need to celebrate during the actual fight itself. I would like to give a special mention to Big Mom as the most sober of the emperors. She's more of a light social drinker. However, I suppose what fills that void is her insane sugar addiction. We've all got something. Oh, and also another somewhat nostalgic event was the Luffy Kaido headbutt, which is probably the most brutal moment of the chapter. Just looking at this panel, it gives me a headache because it's like I can feel my skull being smashed against just this iron wall of haki. But it also takes me back to Luffy versus Ulti, which I think qualifies as nostalgia now because it happened over a year ago, chapter 982 or 83, somewhere around there. But it's just such a primal action, and it's happened quite a bit during Onigashima, mostly as a result of Ulti, I suppose. But in retrospect, Luffy kind of looks like he's facing off against a mini Kaido because Ulti has the horns and everything. I have to say, usually action-packed chapters in One Piece, they tend to be my least favorite, but Oda did such a solid job with this one, and he even gave us some icing on the elephant cake. The 5 Elder Dude Bros make a very surprise appearance in this chapter. I did not expect to see them until an act break at the very least, maybe the end of Wano at the very most, but having them properly involved in Act 3 gives Wano an enhanced sense of stakes. This isn't just an event that's happening and we'll think about it later sort of thing. No, the 5 geriatrics are currently giving their undivided attention to this situation. This chapter did also confirm that there are currently no marine ships heading to Wano. When the boat-based revelation first occurred, a lot of people assumed that it was the Marines annexing Wano with, you know, like admirals and stuff, but this appears to have confirmed that this is a purely world government fleet. So there's probably no Marines to be found here, and these boats are just full of agents who wear the funky black suits. But there is a slew of stupidly intriguing information dumped on these 2 pages. The first of which is that Nika Robin is name dropped directly by the 5 elders. Oda is making a big thing here of reminding us that she is indeed a very important person. But the elders want her captured, which is important because they also discuss another figure to be eliminated or erased, if you will, which would be the language I believe that the 5 elders used with Im. The quote is, "Have you decided on another light to be erased from history?" And back then we had 4 candidates. Im had the bounty posters of Luffy and Blackbeard, as well as scandalous paparazzi-esque photos of Vivi and Shirahoshi. And in terms of who is actually on Wano right now, that would tell us that this figure is probably maybe Luffy, along with the fact that the elders use the word light to be erased, and Luffy is the Dawnbringer and all of that sort of stuff. And I might just be having some sort of mind-brain malfunction, but I really can't think of anyone else it could be. They want Robin captured, they mentioned Big Mom and Kaido as an excuse for said death, so it has to be Luffy? It's one of those situations where I'm questioning myself because it feels too obvious. And the questions do not stop there, because we also have the big Devil Fruit revelation. The ever sneaky world government have been hiding either the true name or even the existence of a devil fruit for so long that even the elders themselves are shocked and perplexed at the mere suggestion of its existence. The scene is a little confusing because it would appear that they're referring to Zunesha, and we come to that conclusion mainly via juxtaposition. This information is thrown in alongside the panel with Zunesha, which is epic as crap, by the way. Just imagine being those world government agents. You would be soiling your fancy suits if a 35-kilometer tall elephant just appeared out of nowhere in front of you. They are going to get jacked so hard. And I don't mean get stronger or I mean they are getting Jack the Droughted, the worst kind of jacked. A one-way trunk trip to the bottom of the sea. So the most obvious conclusion is that the elders are referring to Zunesha as a devil fruit user or the result of a devil fruit. Like perhaps he's an island who quote-unquote ate an elephant-style devil fruit, or even the other way around, an elephant who ate an island devil fruit. Which isn't impossible because we've had weird stuff like Capone Gang Beige eating a fruit that turns him into a fortress, so why
The big
not have
fada.
turn someone into an island? It still feels a bit weird though, because what's happening is this random war government agent has a direct line to the elders, and he basically goes, there's a shadow, to which they'll respond with, oh no, a shadow, it cannot be. There's only one devil fruit capable of making a big shadow, so it must be the super legendary fruit that we do not dare speak of. Like, no matter what's happening here, I feel like the elders are definitely overreacting to the very minimal information they have. Part of me can't help but wonder if this is an Oda misdirect though, making us think that whatever this fruit is Zunesha, when it's really a setup to be something else. Like, for a potentially stupid example, take Tama. She has a devil fruit that can theoretically control animals like, say, a giant sea elephant and order them to walk for all eternity. And perhaps the presence of Zunesha alludes to the fact that Tama's devil fruit is now active again. And it's been on Wano this whole time, which is why they haven't heard about it in centuries. So there are options here. So many that I'm just going to make an entire video for this topic because it is such an intriguing mystery. Zunesha on Wano in general is a great development though. I for one have always wondered why we decided not to bring our elephant super weapon into our all or nothing fight, but given that Zunesha doesn't have the free will to do it at once, right now I have to assume that either agency is being given back to it or that Zunesha may be responding to the innate calls of a certain Momonosuke. Momo is in trouble, so Zunesha has come to save the day, which he may literally be able to do. Zunesha is, again, 35 kilometers tall, which makes him a whole 15 kilometers taller than any sky island we know of. So getting up the waterfall on Wano isn't a problem.
Wait, really?
Is already taller than the waterfall itself, which means that Onigashima doesn't have
Damn, I never realized it was that big. Jesus.
On Zunesha's back, and the day is saved.
15, almost twice as high as fucking Skypia?
Dragon on the back of an even bigger elephant. That would be pretty cool. Now, during the scene, there was also a tantalizing Oda tease to the Reverie, and despite the fact that it occurred quite a while ago in the current timeline, the Elder Star guys are still lamenting just how beyond awfully it went. So once again, Oda is setting us up for some pretty tragic reveals to come post Wano, or maybe not. Maybe things going badly for the world government means things going goodly for us. So let's keep this good train going with another video, because there's always more to learn, explore, and experience with this wonderful series, so I look forward to seeing you there.
Oh my god, I just want to get through this dungeon. I'm on floor 5 or 6. Here we go.
Did you know that Buggy the clown has a fruit fly gene named after him? The gene is called baramycin, and it produces a protein that can split into multiple parts, much like Buggy. And to quote the paper in question, baramycin was partly inspired by Eiichiro Oda's character Buggy, a Bara superhuman. So with that in mind, it would seem that Buggy has done more for our real world of science than he has for the fake world of One Piece. Why is that, Buggy? Why are you you? Well, let's find out. Hello and welcome to the Grand Line Review, your source for everything One Piece. My name is Liam and my water bottle says hello to you, so I think it's only fair that you say hi back. But today we are here to lament the existence of a certain clownman because I have a big question to answer, that question being why? How does a man who sailed with the Roger Pirates, fought against the Whitebeard Pirates, and is in some way connected to every great figure of this world, how does that man end up as Buggy the Clown? Something has gone very wrong here. Now I want to know what it is. And that journey begins with a quick round of Clown Town, a very simple minigame, the rules of which are as follows. Here we have 3 One Piece characters, and it is going to be your job to guess which of these 3 secretly dresses as a clown during their spare time. Now, should you guess incorrectly, then your hilarious punishment will be to subscribe to the Grand Line Review, thus resulting in consistent injections of One Piece culture administered directly into your YouTube feed. And if you are correct, then you will win a pie. A pie in your face, that is. So who is the covert clown? Make your choice now and we shall reveal the answer in 3, 2, 1, and bam, it was Smoker, which is great and all, but he really needs to stop scaring me. So if you guessed incorrectly, then you know the thing to do, and please do say hi in the comments below if you are a new member of the Grand Fleet. Welcome. So back to canon clowns now. Buggy is generally regarded as a bit of a joke character. And to be fair, it's probably because of all of the jokes. When we consider intrigue in One Piece, Buggy is an uncommon topic to say the least, but he actually has one of the most mysterious and fascinating backstories of anyone in the series. We know almost nothing about his origins except that he was born in the Grand Line, and at the age of young, he became a member of the Roger Pirates along with Shanks. Talk about speed-running life there. Buggy was barely out of the womb before he joined the world's greatest pirate crew and began encountering legends like Whitebeard, Shiki, Garp, and Sengoku. Buggy was on the fast track to becoming a wise, powerful, world-renowned, and dangerously handsome pirate, but instead, that's what Shanks did, and Buggy, well, he did this. In fact, when you think about it, Buggy is like a canon example of the 40-year-old future Straw Hats that Oda drew, but he also drew an alternate version of them where things went horribly wrong by the time they reached the age of 40. And well, Buggy, he is 39 years old and a living example of this gone wrong.
He can still turn it around.
To bring Shanks back into this, it's quite a cautionary tale. 2 boys who both had the exact same start in life, going down radically different paths. And there are several factors as to why Shanks may have ended up as an emperor, and Buggy may have ended up being kicked in the muggy balls by a rubber foot. And one of those factors is going to be purely personality based, because I have a question for you. Was Buggy always evil? Now, evil is a tricky word, and it probably doesn't apply to Buggy as we know him because he's more of a selfish phallus than anything. But then again, at the beginning of One Piece, Buggy is in no way a good guy. Back in the days of Orangetown, he was quite a sadistic fellow, more than willing to engage in cold-blooded murder and even sacrifice the lives of his own loyal crewmen. Not to mention holding an entire town hostage with high-powered explosives simply for the lulz. Very funny clown prank there. Really, the only thing separating early Buggy from, say, Arlong is pure competence. And even then, Arlong at least cares for his own crew, so he's almost more sympathetic than Buggy is. And it's not easy to chart the journey of how Buggy arrived at this point because chronologically, Buggy is very inconsistent. For example, if we look at the Odin flashback, Buggy is more or less your standard problem child. He has a lot of dumb ideas and he gets into trouble, but he's a good boy at heart. He holds great respect for his captainman and pretty much every other member of the Roger Pirates. Even his relationship with Shanks seems much more amicable, although Odin did note in his special journal that he wasn't sure if the two were best friends or mortal enemies. However, when you contrast this against the Orangetown flashback, Buggy is not a good boy. Buggy is a scheming, manipulative, and greedy existence devoid of all respect and empathy, which is pretty much the exact definition of not a good boy. In a moment of great irony, Buggy also claimed that Shanks was too soft to make it as a pirate. Oh, and he also accused each and every one of the Roger Pirates of being too soft for, and I quote, not having a proper appreciation for booty. Horny little clown, revealing a bit too much information there. Of course, this flashback is also quite interesting because it's one of the poorest aging pieces of story in One Piece, mostly because Shanks and Buggy, despite currently sailing with Roger, have no idea what devil fruits are. In fact, the entire crew seems to have no idea what devil fruits are, as when Buggy eats the fake Barbar enemy and nothing happens, one dude guy even says, maybe those tales about devil fruits were lies. Which, just like Buggy and the Barbar fruit, I find very difficult to swallow. At this point in the chronology of the series, the crew was sailing in the New World, fighting against organizations like the Whitebeard Pirates, who have like a gazillion devil fruit users, as well as Shiki, Big Mom, Small Dad, and literally everyone else vying for supremacy. Devil fruits weren't exactly this unknown, mysterious, mythical existence. And it's just one of those unfortunate inconsistencies of One Piece, of which there are very few. Because if there are three things that I cannot stand in this world, it is 1, hypocrisy, 2, list making, and 3, inconsistency. But this does relate quite greatly to Buggy because firstly, believe it or not, he's actually meant to be younger in the Orangetown flashback than he is in the Odin flashback, which, yeah, that doesn't quite look to be the case. The same thing goes for Shanks as well. They had a big growth spurt and then they sort of Benjamin Button themselves back down to teeny tiny childlings. But this leads into the more meta explanation for Buggy, which is that Oda never intended to explore the character this much when he was first crafted. Buggy seems to have been intended to be a flat archetype or comically evil clown thing, and over time as One Piece evolved, that original portrait of Buggy became inconsistent with the bigger landscape picture of the series. Although Buggy would reach something of a turning point fairly early on during his cover story, he ended up bonding with Gaimon on the island of rare animals, so that humanized him a bit. Although with that said, during his next appearance at Logtown, Buggy was still well and truly keen to engage in a bit of the old murder in regards to Luffy, both brutally and very publicly, so let's not give him too much credit during this time period, or in fact any time period. But this case of character inconsistency with the early part of the series can also be used to argue the case of Buggy's strength. Quite famously, Oda did not intend One Piece to last much longer than 5 years, so the gap in power between Buggy and say someone like Roger would not have been anywhere near as drastic as it is now, almost a quarter of a century later. I mean, he still would have had his butt kicked by Roger, and also quite possibly had his butt wiped by Roger, considering that he may have been a baby when he joined the crew. So, something to think about. That's also the boring way to look at it though, because Oda is a pretty great improviseur, and Buggy's descent from greatness does also have an in-world explanation. Ignoring the slightly inconsistent nature of flashbacks, the clear turning point for Buggy chronologically would be Roger's execution. At this time, Buggy was about 14 years old, and the trauma of losing one's captain is nothing to laugh at, thus making Buggy a very counterproductive clown at this stage. And it's also a pretty confronting idea to be left on your own at 14, because for whatever reason, neither Shanks nor Buggy stayed with any of the other Roger Pirates. And while Shanks took this adversity and turned it into positive fuel for the future, Buggy very much had the opposite reaction and entered a phase of spiraling negativity and great irrelevance. Let's put it this way, there is no other record in One Piece of backwards progression. Buggy went from sailing at the pinnacle of the world to terrorizing pet food stores in East Blue. Even cases like Gecko Moria, he didn't go backwards, he stole. Moria hit a ceiling, and that ceiling's name was Kaido, which I admit is weird because we don't normally name our ceilings, but in this case, we did. And then the ceiling said, "Wo-do-do-do-do-do," and Moria said, "Kishi-shi-shi-shi," and then they did that for a bit before Moria got hit in the face with a club. Whereas Buggy just degenerated on his own, resigning himself to a petty life of acquiring wealth in the least challenging possible part of the world. And even then, he failed that challenge. For whatever reason, Buggy had this natural immunity to the knowledge and experience of sailing with the greatest pirate currently known to the planet, as well as an illustrious member of the Will of D. And just on that, there has never been a D that has failed to cause a great storm, and with that in mind, I find it quite peculiar that Buggy would lay completely stagnant and dormant until the moment where he encountered yet another mighty D. Because as much as Buggy may despise Luffy, this rubber boy is probably the best thing to have happened to our clown friend since he initially joined the Roger Pirates. It may have been antagonistic in nature, but Luffy pushed Buggy to be more ambitious, to make his way into the Grand Line, to tackle bigger challenges, to orchestrate a prison break of Impel Down, to participate in the Paramount War, and to eventually become a warlord of the sea. If it weren't for Luffy, Buggy would still be sitting in Orange Town eating bowl after bowl of delicious pet food. Whether it was intended by Oda or not, at this point it's pretty clear that Buggy is an element that has been caught up in the storm that is the Will of D. Through a process so coincidental that I can only describe as fate, Buggy has been connected to Roger, Blackbeard, Luffy, and even Ace. And in Luffy's case in particular, Buggy has been an essential element of Luffy's journey. So one could make the case that Buggy's grand undertaking of mediocrity was all intentional and subject to whatever this mighty D-Force is. Come to think of it, Buggy's luck is very similar to that of Luffy's, just a little bit more unfortunate in nature. If I were to equate the two, I'd say that Luffy's luck is like when someone throws a wrench at you, and then you coincidentally turn at just the right time to avoid it. Meanwhile, Buggy's luck is like if someone throws a wrench at you, and then you trip and fall, slamming your goofy clown face into the hard ground below, but you avoid the greater damage that the wrench would have caused. And Buggy has now slammed his clown face into the floor, perhaps even a wall, a roof, whatever. He's just done it so many times that he has actually broken through into a legitimate position of power. And I would fully expect Buggy to continue to be essential to Luffy in the future. Whatever conflict in whatever final saga happens, I have no doubt
Another mini boss. Holy shit, how long have we been recording? I've just been grinding.
There is an alternate universe
Hour 10. Nothing's happened. Skip this episode, I beg of you.
Respected names in the world. He holds a master's degree in all three brands of haki. Not only that, but he possesses an extraordinarily dangerous devil fruit, which, when you think about it, is not only a hard counter to Draco Mihawk, but also the powers of Doflamingo. Those two are mere scrubs to Buggy the Clown, one of the 4 emperors who clashed with Whitebeard, stopped the war at Marineford, and casually strolled into Marijois to converse with the 5 Elder Stars. I know, it sounds awesome, but ridiculous. However, this was the path that was set up for Buggy in the series, cleanly paved, ready for him to walk on, but instead, Buggy decided to fling himself into the bush and, live a very difficult life. One that is not without its rewards, but they are few and far between. And while this may leave us in something of an unremarkable end, the story of Buggy the Clown is truly unique. Even in a series known for unique adventures, there has never been another character who has so catastrophically fallen from grace. That, as well as many other things, I appreciate this wacky, cracky clown. Just as you will appreciate another video. It's about One Piece, so you can't not like it. There's always more to learn, discover, and experience with this wonderful series, so I look forward to seeing you there.
Oh my god. Whatever.
Hello and welcome to the Grand Line, your source for everything One Piece. My name is Liam and I have 2 of the exact same mug, which I find pretty crazy. And today we are here to talk about some absolutely massive news because we have had 2 more delicious Vivia card packets released to us, and they are part of the Wano collection, but do not let that fool you because they also cover a bunch of completely un-Wano things. I mean, just look at all those Revolutionary Army commanders. And in fact, look at Roger right next to them. That dude is giving someone the eyes. And before we get into this massive information, I just want to note the beautiful cover design of these packs, with Kinemon perfectly mimicking the Odin Two-Sword style, which of course are images that come from their respective volume covers. For anime-only watchers, I do want to emphasize that there will be no manga spoilers in this video, but there will be extended information that will not be featured in the anime, which is a shame because it's pretty massive stuff that I guarantee you will want to know. Because in this video, we have information about Roger, we have bounty revelations, and we have a whole ton of new Devil Fruit stuff, and more, ever so much more. I swear, whoever put put these cards together must have needed to go to the bathroom pretty badly, because what we got was a massive dump of information. It's actually one of the most stacked trivia card installments I think we've ever gone through. And if you want to get stacked, jacked, and maybe even a third rhyming word, then I would highly encourage you to subscribe to the Grand Line Review, which will result in consistent injections of One Piece culture administered directly into your YouTube feed. These videos will take you from scrub to thug in no time at all. So let's make the easiest decision of your life and push that button. To begin with the stuff, though, I'd like to say this information comes courtesy of Auto Japan on Twitter. Thank you very much. This is always greatly appreciated. But really, there is nowhere else we can begin but with the Pirate King. A couple of big things here. Firstly, his sword is revealed to be one of the 12 Supreme Grade blades. And that is incredible because we haven't actually seen a new Supreme Grade sword post-time skip yet, and just as a catch-up, the only other ones that we know of are Mihawk's Yoru, Whitebeard's Murakumugiri, and the yet-to-be-seen Shodai Kitetsu, except maybe it was seen here, but we're not sure. But here's the absolutely wild part. We also have the name of Roger's sword, and that name is Ace. That's right, Roger named his child after his sword friend. Which, sure, why not? It's a solid name. I suppose it's also a way of Roger trying to keep that legacy and that will alive. It's still pretty big news there. And speaking of big news, this video is sponsored by Morning Brew, a free daily newsletter that gets you up to speed on business news in just 5 minutes. Before Morning Brew, my mornings would be dark and gloomy, but now they're bright and, well, whatever the opposite of gloomy is. Because traditional news is dry, dense, and boring, kind of like toast. It just needs, something more. And Morning Brew is like the peanut butter of news, and it will make your toast witty, relevant, and informative. I mean, very recently I've learned about college athletes and how a new billion-dollar industry has just all of a sudden been created around them out of nowhere. And it also featured sports fans doing sports things, so that was fun. If you're interested in business, finance, or tech, there is no reason not to subscribe, which is a double negative, but that's good. It takes less than 15 seconds, and once again, it is completely free. So click the link in the description to subscribe to Morning Brew today. Back to our one and only Pirate King, though. One of the coolest things is that this new sword information makes the Roger versus Whitebeard clash ever so much more epic in retrospect, because this is now the only confirmed instance in the series where two Supreme Grade swords have come into contact with each other. So it adds another nice layer to this moment. In addition to this, there's also a curious piece of flavor text on Roger's card that refers to his epithet, and it says, "Is the title of King of the Pirates another way to hide the D in his name?" So just flagging that D once again. But one of the biggest teasers in this pack has to do with Roger's ship, the Ora Jackson, specifically that incredibly mysterious egg thing. And the language is a bit weird, and I'm not 100% sure about the translation here, to be honest, but the line we are given is, "The giant egg on Ora Jackson's ship hadn't hatched when Roger landed, and then." So in terms of landing, I'm guessing we're referring to Laugh Tale, but the much more important thing here is that this text would appear to indicate that the egg has since hatched, and whatever was in the egg is now somewhere in the world doing something, some sort of egg-based activity, I suppose. Next up, we have some giant bounty news though. Big numbers here today, and we will go in order of least to highest. So we now have the numbers of each of the Revolutionary Army commanders. Morley is worth 293 million berries, Lindbergh is 316 million, Karasu is 400 million, and Bello Betty tops this whole group at 457 million, which I definitely agree with. She has by far the most dangerous ability possibly within the entire army, including Dragon. So these guys are no joke. These sorts of numbers are not at all easy to achieve. I mean, just thinking about everything that Luffy needed to do just to reach 300 million is insane enough. But we are not done with numbers yet. Izo's bounty is also given to us within these magical cards, and he sits at a very solid 510 million berries. And that's very interesting because we now have a Whitebeard commander comparison, because we know that Ace's bounty was 550 million. So it would seem that on average, the Whitebeard commanders are probably worth a fair bit less than the four commanders of the other.
Oh, I think we're here. Whew. Let me turn the sound back on. Yeah, okay, so we're here. Let me use some soul stuff. Okay. I'm sure it'll be fine. Let me use a couple more on me. Okay. I think I'll be fine. And nothing up to this point has given me even a little bit of trouble, even the mini bosses. Like, it's not close. So, let's see how this goes.
Wow, I'm surprised you made it this far. Allow me to confirm the crimes you've committed thus far.
The ledger must be
You had
filled.
suspicions that this world was dangerous, yet you threw Mayumi Yamano into the TV.
Correct.
Knowing full well that Miss Yamano died here, you did the same to Saki Konishi.
He's tired of this shit.
Not
He's just
only
trying to play
that,
games,
you
man.
Duped Namatame into taking over your murder attempts while you watched like a spectator at a game. When the disappeared stopped dying, you sent a warning letter to ensure more victims. Even when a copycat killer arose, you had the gall as a detective to eliminate a suspect under investigation. 2 people died in the last 6 months, and a young girl is now in critical condition. But that's not all. If at any turn something had gone wrong, many more would have succumbed. All for some foolish excitement, like a criminal reveling in the chaos he creates.
Yeah? So what's your point? All I did was put people in here. It's the world that really kills them, isn't it? This world reflects people's thoughts. Which, oh dear, does that mean the real culprits are everyone on the outside?
To hell with that! You did that stuff knowing full well those people were gonna die! If that's not a crime, then what is?
You're so self-righteous.
How can you say that? Aren't you a police officer? Out of everything you could have been, didn't you specifically choose to join the police?
Don't make me laugh. Just because someone joins the police doesn't make them some kind of agent of justice. You know why I applied? So I could legally carry a gun. That's all. You'd be surprised how many are like that. I thought it would be fun too, but to tell the truth, that was a wash. Everyone around me was such an idiot. I made one tiny mistake, and they all got on my case and sent me out here to Nowheresville as punishment. I was bored shitless and wondering what to do next when I discovered this power.
For crying out loud! Why a bastard like you?
A gift for having to put up with this lame job out in Nowheresville, I guess. I did that stuff 'cause I could, and it got interesting, so I watched.
That's your reason? You can't be
It makes total sense. That's why I thought he did it first too.
Really don't
He's
care
bored.
what happens to our world?
No.
Let's be honest, there's nothing great about the real world, is there? It's just dull and annoying as hell. No one accepts that's the way things are. They're just stuck with it because they can't deny it either. Those who actually succeed in life, they just happen to be born with a magic ticket called talent. If you don't have it, you can either accept or deny that fact until you die. That's your only choice. Once you realize that, all you have left in life is despair. The ultimate game over. Wouldn't it be better if that kind of reality was wiped away?
That's complete BS.
Brats like you are so damn naive. You piss me off. Listen, you might have hopes and dreams right now, but that's only because you know nothing about reality. One day you'll see. You'll be faced with a boring reality that boxes you in, no matter where you go.
You're the only boring thing here! If you want to disappear, go ahead! Stop dragging us into it!
Stop yelling, punk. I understand you're all afraid and gotta act tough to cover it up, but jeez. I'm telling you all this based on my own experience in life. Think about it for a second. Once everyone turns into shadows, they'll still keep on living, oblivious to all the things around them. So how's that different from the way it is now? No, this'll make things much easier for everyone.
Easier? What the hell are you talking about?
Come on, how many people out there actually think about what's real, or what's right and wrong? Next to none, I bet. It's useless to think about those things in the first place. You don't get anything out of facing reality, and there's no way to change it either. I mean, what could be more boring than brooding over things you can't change? It's better to just ignore them and believe only what you want to believe in life. Doesn't that sound a lot easier? It would be awesome if everyone's life could be that easy. No matter who you are, your lifespan is about 80 years or so, right? Then it'd be easier if we all just became shadows. No need to hold back anything. No more pretending we don't see things. Honestly, we don't need our world anymore. Better to let it be swallowed up and for mankind to turn into shadows. That's what all those people who are scared to death really want. So it's my duty to see that they get it.
His duty.
Nobody wants
He's got to do it.
It's just you, dumbass!
Jeez, don't you remember what it was like when your shadow came out? It must have been enjoying life far more than you.
Hello? Oh, we're shadowing.
Be careful! I don't know what's happening!
I forgot Teddy was here, to be honest. Oh, he's all creepy crawly now.
You all saw shadows as mere monsters, didn't you? These things move on pure instinct. They go wild because you defy them. You annoying little brats are the ones who are wanted in the new world!
Speak for yourself! Living is too painful for you, but you don't want to die? Of course no one would understand. It makes no sense. You're just throwing a tantrum like a kid who can't have his way.
Kill yourself, pussy.
People can't live alone. If you give in and sever your ties to human society, it will naturally become hard to live in it. Yet you refuse to face life and admit your fault, running from your own humanity like a coward. And though you claim to find life troublesome, you cause nothing but trouble for many others. Your twisted logic is that of an immature, egotistic brat.
Shut up! Stop trying to act all tough! You guys can't even stand on your own, unless you deny everything I said! Stupid teenagers! You have no idea what kind of shit I've been through!
Sure, dude.
Favored by the world, my ass. I'm gonna say it flat out. You're just a worthless criminal!
Here he comes. This'll probably be our last battle. Let's hit him with everything we've got.
I don't think so.
The world is about to change! Your existence won't belong there!
It's just him with a gun?
Leave you be, but you're like a plague! I'll have to get rid of all of you!
Let's do it. If we work together, there's no chance we could lose to a man like this.
There's a chance.
Shut up! Get lost!
Okay.
I can't believe he's the one.
I'm working on it. Come on, let me work. Okay, so I have this ability to debilitate, which lowers all of his stats. So I'm just going to spam this, and then I'm going to hit him with my fists. And then what else do we want to do? Let's heat riser my sweet boy. And then we'll start beating the shit out of him.
It's over.
And then Kanji can boost everyone's attack. And this is the setup. We got Exodia. Oh, he's popping off. He has my persona.
A persona? But that can't be.
Of course it can. What do you mean it can't be? Are you neutral now? You are. I'm going to heat rise you or debilitate you again. He had my persona. Did you see that? That was my first persona. Get fucked, dude. I'm not going to let you play the game.
All yours.
Nice. He's taking good damage. Bam. Let's see how much this little hyper beam does here. Nice. Good enough. Vorpal Blade. Ouch. What does this do? We just absorbed it because we're goated. Let's get one more debilitate so I don't have to refresh it as often. Or I guess actually it's probably a waste. Because if he does heat riser again... How much does my normal attack do? 56? That's not worth it. If he does heat riser again, I imagine it'll just cancel it out.
Damn brats! Shut up and let me finish you off!
No. Nobody on my team is weak to this. We eat it up. Oh, never mind. I thought he hit everybody. We do this. We're clapping him.
Let's go.
We're clapping. We're going to heal. This new healing spell I got, it's called Salvation. It literally just cures all ailments on your whole team and heals them to full. So, Primal Horse. Bap. Missed it. Love it. This doesn't do enough damage to be a problem. And it missed most of my team. Megalodon on my mom. I am kind of worried about running out of SP. Oh, nice. Resay's here. Give me SP, please. That'd be sick. I asked. Nope. Defense increase. I'll take it, though.
Let's go.
Bam. Yeah. I'll get everyone's health back up in a second. Bam. It's going pretty good. He's just going to keep using this move, which doesn't do anything, really. Heals me. Just going to keep going. Nice. Nice miss. Nice miss. Halfway there. Which means he's probably going to pop off. Which means I probably should have just healed. Yeah. This was a mistake. Oh, no. It's just Resay. Nice. We got the SP back that we wanted. We're going to do another attack boost. Please don't insta-give my whole team because I got a little greedy.
Damn it! You're all such a pain in the ass! I'll kill you! Just like I did those other ones!
Oh, this is fine. This ability is like an instant death ability, but it probably won't hit. Yeah. We just keep on trucking. This is actually going pretty quickly overall. Let's heal. Let's not be greedy. Primal Force. Evil Smile? Doesn't that make me panic or something? Who cares? I guess I should. Let's just use that soda I have. It should heal all this. Yeah, all ailments. This boss is really easy. There must be another boss after this then. Because this is currently like a joke. It's not even close to being a problem. I'm not even doing anything. I'm just attacking. At this point, I just kind of want to rush it. He either has a second phase or there's like a second boss like the other Teddy that came up that one time. Pear Soda. Attack reverted. Hit rate reverted. Defense reverted. Vorpal Blade. Healed it. Okay, I gotta debilitate him again. I did grind like crazy though, so this is to be expected.
All yours.
I wish salvation didn't take so fucking long. The animations in this game take a bit long. It's starting to get annoying now that I'm like playing more and grinding and like really just kind of want to get through it. Primal Force. Maga, what? Is this wind? No way do you have my one weakness. Fuck you. Even if it didn't do any damage. Fuck you for even having wind. Okay, let's see if we can take him out this round here. Maybe? Probably not. Maybe. Persona. Persona. Pear Soda. Alright, kill him. Bap! Nice, we got him. You probably should have used the gun. It probably would have really worked, to be honest. Like, not even trying to fucking lie to you, dude. Just shoot them. Shoot the children. It's really easy.
Damn. This is lame. Oh well. Our world's gonna disappear soon, no matter what. I didn't have anywhere to go back to anyways. Everyone's gonna become shadows.
Oh. Oh, God.
All humans will become shadows, and I shall descend upon the united world as the master of order.
Descend? Order? What's with this guy all of a sudden? What's happening?
Guys, this isn't Adachi. It's someone completely different.
Is this Aegis?
This world and yours will soon be enclosed in a fog that never lifts. It will be the peaceful world that mankind has longed for.
Okay.
Who are you?
I am Amino Sagiri, one who rules the fog,
I don't know who that is.
one awakened by man's desires. Do what you will, but your world's erosion cannot be stopped. It is an inevitability. You played your part well, stirring up the will of the masses into madness. But that will soon come to an end. Mankind will soon become shadows and live on in the darkness of the fog, oblivious of their reality.
What the hell are you? Why are you doing this?
I am the one that shepherds humans to their true desires. Though their hearts longed for peace, it could never be attained. So they tore down the wall between image and reality. Indeed, this is the outcome desired by mankind. And mankind's desires are my desires. That is why I decided to expand this world.
You're saying you're the one who created this nasty-ass world?
This is part of the sea of unconsciousness that exists within human hearts. A hollow forest born from bloated desire and false imagery. Humans view things as they see fit. They wish not for truth, but still, humans fear what they cannot see. That brief yearning for truth becomes a ray of light which breaks the fog and torments the shadows.
That's why they attack and kill whoever's nearby at that time. A hollow forest. Then, this place isn't simply affected by people's hearts. It actually exists inside them?
Mankind abandoned its pursuit of truth, placing itself in the depth of chaos and falsehood. Thus, my strength has grown, and the fog will not lift. Your world will be engulfed by the hollow forest.
Will you shut up already? We'll just use our power to beat the heck out of you and it'll all be over.
It was I who made it possible for you to bring about this destiny. I bestowed power onto those who could brave the hollow forest. That is what allowed you to come in contact with this world. And you all have done very well since.
Bestowed power? You mean the power to enter the TV?
Then the Midnight Channel, was that phenomenon also your doing?
Humans fail to see things as they truly are. They choose to see only what they wish. I acted only in support of this. A world filled with desires, viewed through a window from which one sees what one wishes to see. Humans departed from reality of their own volition, craving more false images.
A window that shows people what they want to see.
So that's why those who got famous suddenly appeared on the Midnight Channel, one after another. It was all in people's minds.
I have to say, it must be true. The Midnight Channel we saw in Namatame's hospital room, that kept bothering me since. What we saw there wasn't Namatame's true intentions at all.
Then it came on because we were all thinking, this person must be the killer, he can't be forgiven?
We let ourselves be deluded.
Exactly. The more false images one yearns for, the more one stops yearning for reality. And so the forest grows on. That is the expansion of this world.
Enough talk already! Long story short, you're the one behind all this! Yeah, I don't know who you are, but you're going down! People want to become shadows? Their desire is your desire? To hell with that! When did we wish for that crap anyways? We kept fighting and fighting like morons to get where we're standing!
Yes, that I did not foresee. The ability to master your own shadow that emerged to kill you and use its power. A new and uncertain facet of mankind. Is it worthy to put my trust in? Or not? It must be tested.
Okay, let's do it. Good news. Oh God, whoa. Oh, Adachi! Adachi's getting not good right now. Oh, he's getting big. Oh, he's gone. Never mind, he's small. He's everything? He's nothing. What are we doing? Oh, is it going to be the big persona? No? What is this? Is this a grenade? It's an eyeball.
Is the cause of all the fog?
Hi. I've come.
Like we give a damn what you came for.
I heard it.
Done what you want so far, but that'll end when we crush you.
Precisely. Then we know what we gotta do now.
I don't want people to turn into shadows.
We'll defeat it for sure.
Teddy, you are a shadow.
With everything I've got, this thing has no right to exist.
Whoa, hey. Come on. This thing looks like the Teddy fight too. It's like big and sideways in the ground like it is. Kind of the same shape. There was indeed another fight. Is this the last fight? It's not the last fight.
Is a senseless act which goes against your world's wishes. Now, let everything vanish into the sweet fog of illusion.
This is the end. This time, it's all over.
Let's finish off ugly here. We ain't about to let a gross-looking eyeball do whatever it wants.
Let us begin.
Okay. Back to the same grindstone. We're gonna debilitate. We need more mana. We're gonna just start going. Can you be weak to something? That would really make this whole thing easier. Do I have any fun fucking things here? Not really. Whatever. Just gonna start hitting him. We're gonna use Madaruka Tuka Puka Tuka Puka. No dift. Healed me. Thank you.
Let's help.
Yum yum. Gonna do this. This music's cool. Eyeball's creepy. Did a bunch of damage.
For real, Yukiko-senpai?
I'm working on it. Relax. Yukiko can heal Yukiko. She's a strong, independent woman. We should probably check if he's weak to lightning. I don't know if he's weak to anything. It did good damage. Megadola. Foolish Whisper, so he takes multiple turns. Didn't get silenced.
Persona is sealed.
Let's debilitate him again. Try to keep these stats down.
Let's go. Kanji can't use his persona.
We'll use another sody pop. Where is it? Didn't I have another soda? Yeah, I did. Get rid of these conditions. Oh, okay. God, Rise always makes me feel like I'm getting murdered by someone. Can I get SP? Like, I appreciate that, but, like, I need mana. Primal Force. Let's see if this does more than, like, 190 something. Yep. Nom nom nom. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Keep loading it into me, dude. Oh, okay. Never mind. Oh, no dift. Bow. Huge. Kanji did 400 damage, so Kanji's our carry, I think. You can just do fire. We haven't taken a lot of damage. We need to do this again. Bufudin. He's using these all on the wrong guys. I'm curious if I could just hit the rush button and eventually my main character would win because this guy can't hurt me. That would be sick.
Let's go.
I love the Vaporwave boss fight.
Persona.
We primal force in 400 damage. Let's go.
No one wishes for the fog to lift. Why act against the wishes of your fellow man? Consider, is that truly just?
Sure. Nebula Oculus. Oh my god, rainbow eye laser. Missed everybody. It did damage to me. Why did that do damage to me? Bitch. Oh, you just healed it back up. Ooh, get countered on? Dude, my team is stacked as fuck now. I'm running out of mana really quick. I mean, fucking Naoto has plenty of mana, so, you know, we're never gonna stop fighting, but it's gonna take a while. Defense reverted. Primal Force. Kanji can keep Primal Forcing. I'll probably debilitate him one more time. That doesn't do anything. I reflected that, actually. I reflect lightning. Oh, don't... Kanji, don't get crit. Now we have to do this. That's fine. Okay. We're going to keep him debilitated. We're going to start doing a little bit of maintenance because we're out of mana. So we're going to keep him down. Naoto is going to keep damaging. And then... nice. We're going to use some stuff. Little Snuff Soul. Probably for you, Yukiko, because you need to keep your mana up. And then you keep everyone else's attack high. Okay. I mean, that's fine at the end of the day. Oh, wait, he has another attack. Oh, don't drop Kanji. Don't be a dick. Okay, good. Now we Snuff Soul ourself. Keep our mana up so we can keep this guy debilitated. We keep doing damage. And then we heal everyone to full. And then Kanji uses Primal Force and does a nice little chunk. I probably should be using Kanji solely for damage. I probably could. In fact, I totally can, and I'm going to do that now because he does the most. Okay. Oh, sorry. Bewildering Fog, here we go. Whoa. Release the Fog of Confusion. Mind Charge. He's focused now. I should probably guard. I think I'm going to guard. Because my Mind Charge means his next spell is going to do double damage. I don't like the way that eye is undulating. Wait, no. He baited my guard. Fuck you. Give me SP, please. Okay. We're gonna debilitate you. Again, make sure you stay in your place. Attacks won't connect. Oh, fuck. Then I definitely should have fucking guarded. Luckily my... Ooh, nice. That's the sweet SP we wanted. We're gonna keep guarding. I hope my main character doesn't get one-tapped by this. Bewildering Fog again. Oh, he turned it off. The fog is cleared. Wait, so what was the point of all that? You missed. What the fuck? All that pomp and circumstance, huh? Alright, now we'll go back to debilitating you. And then we're going to Heat Riser Kanji so he's juiced. And then we'll heal everyone. And then we'll just keep on trucking. I thought that was going to be a lot worse. Good thing I grinded so much. I'm just one-shotting this whole thing. Crap. Is this just the new thing? You're just gonna do this over and over again now? And just miss everyone because you're looking like an idiot? With your big old fucking... your eyelashes on fleek. Sure, dude. Go ahead. This is not sustainable for you. Actually, with my mana, it's not super sustainable for me either. But if I keep him debilitated, and I keep Kanji buffed out to the tits, and then everybody else is on support duty, I think I'll be fine. I should have done that to Kanji. Fuck, that was a big mistake. And I shouldn't Primal Force, but I'm going to. Okay, good. Normal attack on Naoto for some reason. Again. And you hurt yourself. Bro, I've never had a more pathetic boss in my life. Can I rush through this? We're gonna rush a little bit. Because I think we're trying too hard, to be honest. What does this do? Oh, now everyone's gonna do double damage. That's what that means. Oh my god. Okay, so Kanji's about to hit you for a grand. Watch Kanji knock this guy's block off for a cool G. You ready for this? Don't miss. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, Kanji, your health. Oh, you just dodged. Kanji, you're so hot. Kanji doesn't take shit from nobody. Okay, so now I can't attack, correct? Yes. So now we're gonna take some time to buff Kanji. We're gonna heal the team. We're gonna get ready.
You okay there, Kanji? Don't strain yourself.
Kanji's fine. Stop fucking coddling Kanji. He's a big boy. We'll just do one of these because we can. We're just gonna keep heat rising, people. We'll keep doing Kanji. Kanji's our MVP right now. Fuck it. Heat riser. We'll heat riser fucking Naoto. Because she deserves it. She'll guard. Kanji will guard. And now you're gonna do... Oh. Okay. Wouldn't you nut, but she keeps sucking. We're gonna do this. Debilitate, get rid of all those status buffs. And now we're gonna kill him. It's over. This music's sick. Alright, Kanji. No, I accidentally hit guard. That's fine. Keep Kanji safe at all costs. It just missed everyone but Kanji. See? I have the future sight to know that Kanji was the only one in danger there. SP? Nice. No! My buffs! No! It's fine. Because I'm just going to rebuff Kanji, baby. It's fine. Yeah, Kanji should finish it right here. GG's? Yep. Easy boss. Didn't even take that long. I was being way overcautious with everything I was doing. I see the city underneath us. Is that bad for us? Now that we destroyed the shadow, the fog, are we going to get like shunted out into material space? How's it going, God?
I see. Your powers are strong. Power comes from the heart. You have proven to me human potential. Very well. I will lift the fog from the place where you will return to. Mankind's desires are my desires. If mankind so wishes, I will return at any time. I am always at your side.
Well, don't wait up. We'll keep that from happening no matter what.
Time will show the path humanity takes. Children of the new potential.
Goodbye. Do we get Adachi back? Or are you keeping Adachi? I kind of want to persecute. Yeah, give us Adachi back. We're taking them in for his crimes.
You think it was controlling Adachi-san?
No, I think Adachi's fucked up. I think Adachi's just like
At
that.
least partially his own intention as well.
He definitely killed that woman before he knew he had powers.
So that's it, huh?
Yeah, you lose. Power friendship.
Live however you want. If you think you have the power to change the future, then go right ahead.
Everyone has the power to do that.
Get out of here. The shadows will finish me off.
No, you don't get it that easily.
You came to kill me in the first place, didn't you?
No, you're...
No, dumbass. If we leave you here dying, and a dead body eventually appears, then what? What's that accomplish for anyone? Your stupid game's over. We're taking you back. Live and face your punishment. That's how it works in our world.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure that's the outcome Dojima-san wishes for as well.
Book him, boys.
We have the same power, but things turned out so differently for us.
I don't know what to say. I'm gonna say you could still start over.
Easier said than done. But maybe if I had been more like you, things wouldn't have gone this way.
I mean, you're a fucking nutball. I'm definitely not trying to... Are we level 10? We're only level 9? What's level 10? Are we gonna hang out again? I thought you were going to jail. Like, I don't want to see you anymore. That's it. I caught you. You're done. You lose. Judgment level 10. Or 9. God, everything's level 9. Get fucked. I caught your shifty ass from the first moment I saw you.
Greetings, Shirogane-san. He's wanted on suspicion of murdering Mayumi Yamano and Saki Konishi, right?
Correct.
Understood. We have an ambulance waiting downstairs. Should we have them bring the stretcher up here?
An ambulance?
Detective Dojima assumed one would be necessary. He wanted the suspect to be carefully taken into protective custody. Well, it was a personal favor to him.
They were partners after all.
Then yes, please have them bring up the stretcher.
We got him. Can I just kick him in the head while he's just one solid shot to the temple, knock him out? We have an ambulance coming. He's not going to die. He'll get a treatment as fast as possible. Just one little, just right to the fucking head. You know how many beef bowls you cost me?
Simon, it's so sunny. I can play outside like you promised, right? Oh, Makoto, don't run like that. It's for real. The fog's really gone.
Mm-hmm.
We did it. This time it's for real. What's up, Senpai? Did you think I was crying? It's just so bright. It's been so long since the sky was that blue.
It's been 4 days. I did this shit immediately. Without hesitation. I know you expected me to take till the end of the year, but I didn't.
Hey, don't get all sappy. We did this together. But, well, this means we've won.
No, we haven't. I'm getting the true ending. I wish I could end it here, boys.
Huh? What are we doing?
Kanji.
Ooh, what's this?
Everyone ready? Here goes! We did it!
Woohoo! What?
Why didn't you guys say it? You all joined in when Risa-chan did it! I think that was a little too hard to get on the spot.
Which part did you mean for us to say?
3, 2, 1, go.
Woohoo part!
Can we just do it over? Man, having to redo something like this kind of kills the fun of it.
Fuck you, Chia.
Alright, Chia, do that weird call again.
Not if you're gonna call it weird.
People are beginning to stare. I think we should stay like this much longer.
3, 2, 1, go.
My hand's getting kind of sweaty.
Sheesh. Fine then. It's all yours, Sensei.
We did our best. That one's up. You're able to lift the fog. Fuck yeah. Maxed out the Sea Cruise of Truth. Hell yeah, dude. I can create Lucifer, the ultimate form of the Judgment Arcana. What the fuck did you just say to me? The Rebel King of Hell, Lucifer.
Dude, aren't you supposed to do this before you start something, not after it's over?
Huh?
The battle has finally come to an end. The one behind everything is withdrawn, the fog lifted, and time passed. Oh no. Don't let time pass. What time is passing? Time better not fucking pass. What day is it? It's the 8th. Don't fuck me. Okay. No! No! Is that bad? I think I'm still fine. Christmas Eve is tomorrow. PPPPP. Who is it? See you tomorrow? Yes, no. Please reply ASAP, says Naoto. Of course I'm going to spend time with Naoto. Decided to spend time with Naoto tomorrow. What are we doing? Ooh. You invited Naoto for a romantic evening on Christmas Eve. What's up, baby?
It's pretty cold outside.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I guess I'm nervous because, we're the only ones here.
Mm-hmm. Naoto seems embarrassed.
That's a wonderful cake. It makes me feel like a kid again. I have something for you. I was late because I had to go back home to get it before I came here.
Okay. I got a handmade watch. Aw.
I customized this watch. It has the normal functions of a digital watch, but it can also tell you where I am.
Aw.
It's just a toy, though, so it only has a radius of a few meters. And just so you know, my watch has a similar function.
Hell yeah, dude.
My watch can tell me where you are.
I'm happy to know that.
Really? I'm glad. Although, from spring on, my watch will just say out of range. Until then, I want to be with you as much as possible.
Bro, fuck my other life. What are you talking about? I'm staying here. Why the fuck would I go back? Mom, I saved the world. I got a girlfriend. I live here now.
I have something to show you.
Oh.
I want you to see me in a school uniform.
Naoto's a freak? She a freak, though?
You said you liked it when I spoke with a higher voice.
I did say that, didn't I?
So I figured I should look more like a girl.
Give me 1 second. Alright, go ahead.
Besides, my normal clothes go against the school dress code. Let me go change.
Oh my god, she's adorable.
Yakushiji-san prepared it for me. I know this is what all the girls wear, but, isn't the skirt too short?
A little breezy. You look real cute.
Please stop. Don't embarrass me. I think I'll stick with my normal outfit. I'd feel awkward all day if I wore it to school. But I'm happy that I showed it to you. Huh? You want me here tonight?
Yes.
I can probably come up with some kind of alibi for where I spent the night.
And you think I'm leaving in spring? Less than 1 meter. Christmas Eve continues. Girls Yasso outfit. Damn, I made the right choice. 100%. Near the end of the year, December 25th, June says at the usual food court. She a freak though.
So the case is closed for reals this
Tell me
time.
Naoto wasn't the right choice. I know you're listening right now. I know you're paying attention. You watched all of that because it was adorable. Tell me that was not the right choice. I don't feel like you can argue with me.
I think we can safely leave the rest to the police.
Chie, Yukiko, Rise wouldn't have topped that.
Dachi has confessed his crimes, so I'm sure Namatame's presumed guilt will be re-examined as well.
I see. Then that really wraps it up. What'll you do now, Teddy? You're not going back over there, are you?
You better not, you dumb bear. You don't know how much you worried us last time.
I won't suddenly disappear like that again.
Damn straight you won't. Man, just stay here, all right?
It's Dojima.
Hey, it's me.
Are you conscious?
Good news. It looks like they're letting Nanako come home for a bit.
Huge.
She's awake again, and she's got a good amount of strength back.
Huge.
All goes well, she might be able to leave the hospital for the time being. And as for me, they said I just needed to see a doctor regularly. So I'm planning to come home with Nanako today. Sorry I had to stick you with all the housework. I'll make up for it somehow.
You told everyone about Dojima's message.
Really? Nanako-chan's coming home?
I wonder if I hadn't have told her that I like her to speak with a higher voice, if I had not said, like, I like you a little bit more girly, I bet you that wouldn't have happened.
I'm so happy for her.
Hell yeah.
Me too. I'm really glad. The fog's all gone over here because everyone tried so hard.
Shut up, Teddy.
Nanako-chan tried hard too. She's such an amazing girl.
Seriously. Thank heavens she's okay.
She just gently...
Where are you touching? Well, one thing's certain. It's party time! Let's throw a big Christmas party for Nanako-chan!
A party, you say?
Naoto definitely sucked my dick, right?
We'll be delighted.
Like, that's confirmed?
We'll need a cake then.
Guys, please say you're not gonna...
Huh? We're gonna make one. Of course we're gonna make one. I've already researched the ingredients.
Hey, wait a sec. Whoa there. That's way too tall an order for you.
Let's go to the grocery department. Come on, Nato-kun, you too.
But I've never baked a cake.
Don't worry, neither have we. Warm.
So this is the fabled kotatsu.
I was really looking forward to the new kotatsu.
Yeah, you talked about it all the time at the hospital. Nanako needs to go back for a full checkup early next year, but if they don't find anything wrong, they'll let her go immediately.
If I'd gotten better sooner, we would have been able to buy the kotatsu together. Sorry.
I was... sorry you went through that.
I don't mind, since Big Bro and everyone came to rescue me. Sorry for the wait!
Oh no. The Christmas edition of Mystery Food X is about to be served.
Bring it on. I'm ready. Got my insurance card and everything.
Hey, this is bigger than I imagined.
Well, wait, Nanako-chan. I'll be the first one to... No!
Fuck, we just got you back! Not again!
It tastes really good.
That can't be. No. Has she lost all sense of taste?
Okay, we're almost there. I've been looking at the golden ending stuff. She's right. It's like nothing you've ever tasted before.
Really make this?
Huh? Of course we did.
Uh-huh.
Does it actually taste like something? It's not hot, is it? How is it, Kanji?
It's amazing!
You know what they say about true talent not needing to show off.
Mm.
We had good taste in cooking after all.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, this one was our third attempt.
Hey,
All I'm saying,
Chie-chan and the others really are talented chefs. 3 stars for sure.
all I'm saying is this is the first time Naoto has been involved with the cooking, and now it's perfect. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing it out.
Impossible. This... Wait, I didn't already pass out, did I? This isn't a dream, right?
Nana-chan, guess what I have? Ta-da!
A teddy.
Oh, it looks just like you.
I wish I could have made it look better. But I thought it'd keep you company at the hospital, Nana-chan. Oh, and it's made from 100% pure teddy fur. I'm a guy who's all about using all natural materials.
Isn't that nice of him, Nanako? Teddy fur.
The fuck?
Thank you, Teddy.
I have to thank you all again.
Yeah, you do.
Adachi confessed to the 2 murders. He insists it was him who hung the bodies, too. There are still things that are unclear about his story, but he's most likely gonna pay for his crimes. Anyway, this was one strange case. If what you said about a world inside the TV was true, then
I can just show you.
sense, though I still don't believe it. Some things in this world just can't be explained.
This one can.
Nanako. She made a miraculous recovery, and now she's as healthy as ever. Back in the day, my own senpai on the force told me something. There's an underside to everything that you can never see. This case has made me think about a lot of things. You've helped us out so much. It was meant to be the other way around, really. There isn't much time left until spring, but I hope I can do some catching up until then.
Why? I'm not leaving.
You're only here until spring, huh?
What kind of cruel and unusual world do we live in where my parents dipped for a year? I go and just form an amazing band of friends. Like Nanako thinks of me as a brother. I've had sex with a hot, wealthy, good pedigree having detective. And like Dojima, I fixed his whole life, caught a murderer. And it's like, nah, you gotta come home. Sorry. Can't allow that.
Senpai, you're going back?
No.
It won't be the same without you.
Aw. That's actually really sad.
Are you going somewhere?
No. I don't want to go back.
Don't forget, there are people waiting for you.
My parents? I don't give a fuck.
Get home. Show your parents how much you've grown this past year.
I'm not leaving.
If they're okay with it, you can come back here at any time.
I have a hot tomboy detective girlfriend. Kanji and Yosuke are sick.
Off, right? Let's have all the fun we can until then.
I can really... I'm fucking... Yeah.
Don't get too carried away. My sis would kill me if you got yourself held back a year.
I'm top of the class, baby.
Oh, but then you wouldn't have to go back, huh?
Wow, if that happened, I'd be in the same grade as Senpai.
I want to go home now. Call me senpai anyway. I received a Christmas costume from Dojima. It seems like it was supposed to be used at a festival at the police station. Oh my god, do I finally get a day off? I need it to rain. The beef bowl stands as the last boss undefeated. Man, yesterday was great. We haven't had that much fun in a while. And there's no case to worry about anymore. Let's just hang out and have fun. Did you see the weather forecast? It's gonna rain tonight. It's a rainy day. I'm thinking about the Midnight Channel though. Since we beat Amino Sagiri thing, the case should really be closed, right? I'm just a little skeptical. You should check the TV too if you have time. Okay, good. Let it be raining today. Let me go conquer my beef bowl. Please, rain, rain, rain. Damn it. All right, I understand you're all excited about vacation, but we're having end of the term assembly in the gym now. My adult charm is just going to shine through. I don't fucking care about that. Is it raining? Damn it. Oh, you got it.
You're back.
Yes. It's getting cold out. Don't catch a cold. You should wear another shirt. Weather torch said it was going to snow tomorrow. Case is going to handle that. If it gets cold enough, you will not be able to raise vegetables anymore. I don't give a fuck about that. Nanako, we need a social link. I'm not done with you yet. Let me save. We did it. It's raining tonight. You should check out the Midnight Channel. Everything we're doing right now is optional. Don't forget, it was supposed to end with Namatame-sama. Or fucking, not Sama, Jesus. Namatame. I got caught up in the vowels. Namatame-sama. Alright, who do we got? Bing-a-bing-ging-ging-ging. P-P-P-P-P.
I just got off the phone with Chie. Have you checked your TV?
No. Nothing came on.
For you either? I didn't see any glow or anything.
Yeah.
It's definitely raining outside, though. Does this mean the Midnight Channel's off the air?
Probably.
I'm serious here. Now that we beat that Amino Sagiri,
No.
the case is completely over, right?
No.
Awesome. Sorry, I didn't mean to hound you for an answer. I just felt nervous. But it's finally sinking in. All of us together. We did it! Man, all these things are coming back to me. Like when I put you on the spot and asked you to be our leader. What am I getting all worked up for? The others must all be super happy right now, too. I bet Chie is practically crying her eyes out. Alright, I'll call you again later. Seriously, though. Thanks.
This game's sick. I like these guys. Get a little emotional over them. The case has ended. The Midnight Channel seems to have stopped broadcasting. Will surely never come on again. I'm surely not about to fall ill for several days. Whoa, hey. Relax with those time skips. P. You've received... It's from Yosuke. Let's get together, everyone, and visit the shrine today. How about we meet? I'll contact the others. I love how Yosuke, of everyone so far, is the only one that texts like a fucking adult. Everybody else uses like leet speak and shit, and he just texted like an actual paragraph. You'll be taking a trip to the shrine with everyone. Looks pretty cold out today. You recall you have midwinter clothes in your drawers. New outfit hype? Oh god, I look like a fucking rube. Tatsuhime Shrine. Oh my god.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Wait, huh? Is it just you here, Senpai? Seriously? This is the time we all decided on, isn't it? I was watching TV at home, but it seems like I fell asleep. When I woke up, that New Year's show, Toshikoshi Kurotoshi, had already started, so I rushed out here.
Sorry we're late.
Looking cute. Ooh, Teddy looking like a literal woman.
Sorry, Sensei. It's all Yosuke's fault.
It's alright.
Aw, you're such a good bear.
Thank you.
Me? It was 100% your fault. But I am sorry about making you wait. We had an emergency at work. Everyone had to refill all of the lucky draw bags. We just finished a second ago. Because a certain someone just crammed a bunch of stuff into the bags without checking any of the prices. Talking about you little...
Ooh. There was a B in there. I felt the implicit B.
Sensei, where's Nana-chan and her dad?
He has a name.
You can't come out on a cold night like this. Dojima-san and Nanako-chan just got temporarily released from the hospital for the holidays. They aren't healed yet.
Well then, where's everyone else? Why are only the guys here? Don't tell me. Is this going to be some lame guys' night celebration? No lovely girls?
Hell no. Man, they're late. They should have gotten here a while ago.
Wonder if they're all meeting up at Yukiko-senpai's house first. You know, like to put on their kimonos.
Is that what we're doing? I thought it's cold.
Kimonos? Did you hear that, Sensei? Kimonos!
You're getting your hopes too high. That's it. I'll go along with the boys.
Aren't you getting worked up about this a bit too early?
No.
Huh? You're the only one who's not psyched for Kimonotion!
Why are you turning this on me? Although I must say, seeing Rizette in a kimono would be quite the sight. Oh, maybe Naoto's in one too.
Back off.
Okay, now I'm starting to get a lit.
Sorry.
I'm sorry about the wait.
Kimonos? No kimonos.
Sorry.
Everybody looking cute.
Some heating packs and ended up running late.
We're sorry.
Naruto looking like a dude in an Argyle vest. I was hoping for more. Yeah.
What's with the non-reaction?
What? Where are your kimonos?
Why would I be in a kimono? We aren't going to be out long enough to bother with putting one on.
See, that's what I thought. I told you all that from the beginning.
Ow, my ears! You got your hopes up on your own. Don't out on us.
A girl has to save her best outfits for the moments that count the most.
Huh? A kimono's one of a girl's best outfits? Wait, you're implying that you're out of our league.
A little bit.
She wasn't implying.
My heart just froze over.
Shouldn't we be more mindful of the time? If we don't hurry, we'll have to do the countdown here at the entrance.
Oh no! We're going to miss the 2-year shrine visit!
What does that mean?
This is my first time being with friends on midnight of New Year's Day.
Oh.
I'd always just spent it with everyone at the inn until last year.
Actually, I'm glad we were all able to celebrate today here peacefully.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright everyone, let's get going.
Hey, cutscenes.
Staying still makes me cold.
They're handing out Amazaki over there.
I love how Kanji's just an enormous man.
Hey, how long till next year?
Right now.
Oh, it's almost time.
Okay! 5, 4,
3, 2, 1!
Woo!
Happy New Year!
I'm glad we're here together.
Year's here!
Finally, the New Year's here!
Let's make this year a great
Happy New Year,
this
both
year
of you.
too, partner.
Thank you.
It's not your celebration.
No, none for you, Rise. And the same goes for you, Yukiko.
Come on, just let it go.
Wait, why is Chie cute as hell in cutscenes? Oh.
I told you it was cold. Do you think the snow will pile up?
This is what they call a white New Year's, huh?
No one calls it that.
It's a new year, but you're still Morangi.
What?
Morangi. Oh.
Hey, what are you nodding for? Shut up.
Ooh, it's snow. Look at the happy snowman. Am I never going to get to finish the beef bowl? I'm fucking shattered, dude.
Final kick as they prepare to hand off. The runners for the next leg wait for their turn to don the sash and run. This relay point was changed in 2009.
Hello.
Ah, there you are. All right, are we ready then? Happy New Year.
Sorry, somebody was at the door.
Happy New Year!
I hope things go well until spring. What?
Oh, come on. Why'd you have to go and say it like that? Way to bring the mood down.
Sorry?
Oh, come on, Nanako. Don't make that face. You'll ruin the special New Year's food I got from Janaz.
Well, that was the wrong option.
In any case, you've changed over this past year.
Nope.
You've got a man's face now. I didn't see you while I was hospitalized, and that's what made me notice. I feel relieved, since so much happened.
Thanks.
Though, it is odd for me to say that, since I'm the one that caused you such trouble.
Dad, can we eat yet?
All right, let's dig in. Man, I can't thank those guys working the holiday at Jeunesse enough. I wandered over there and they even had New Year's food.
Thanks for the food.
Let's eat. Nanako, what do you want to eat? I'll get it for you.
Kobumaki.
Kobumaki.
Seems the Jojen fan won't be going to pay the first blah 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 with Nanako's condition. BPPPP. You've received messages. New Year's greeting from Naoto. Let's go. Shrine with me? Yes, no, please reply. Go to the shrine. Fuck yeah. Oh, we're paying off hard in the new year, dude. They've backloaded all the good relationship shit with Naoto. Oh, it's snowing. Tatsuhime Shrine. It appears Naoto hasn't arrived yet.
I apologize for making you wait.
Hello. I like your boots.
Could it be that I don't meet your expectations?
You look cute as always.
Why would you say something like that out of the blue? You love saying embarrassing things like that, don't you? Sheesh.
Yeah. Naoto's face is bright
We
red.
should pay our respects at the shrine now. Let's go.
No, I didn't expect them to draw another winter outfit for you. What kind of budget do you think we have? Naoto's praying sincerely. You finished paying your New Year's respect to the shrine with Naoto.
What did you wish for?
Butt stuff. I made a wish about us.
I made a wish regarding the same subject. I wished about the time we spend together. May both of us be able to spend a full life this year as well. Of course, I wish that we would do so together. Should we draw Omikuji? I usually have bad luck when it comes to things like fortunes, though.
I'm glad I chose Naoto. She's mature. I don't want, like, Risei being like, ooh, hoo, hoo. Simp, simp, simp. Like, it feels very mature. What do you think? Right, middle, left. Tails never fails. Let's go right. It says curse. Beware of quarrels and estrangement. A harsh word at an inappropriate moment may make the relationship irreparable.
Could this mean that we may get into fights? I see. I should be careful too then. Well, that may mean that we'll become so close that we'll be honestly speaking our minds to each other.
Hell yeah, Naoto.
Mine says, ouch, curse. Let's see. The romance fortune says, for things to continue harmoniously, you must discard your secrets. I see. This is quite accurate, but I'm not keeping any secrets from you. Well, besides the ones that are unimportant and embarrassing. And since I got curse, that means that my fortune won't get any worse, and on the contrary, it can only go up from here.
Hell yeah. You have fun discussing your results with Naoto.
Now that we're done here, would you like to come over to my place for once? I actually brought a kotatsu. It's, nice and warm.
Yes, please. You spent with Naoto in her room on the way home. What'd we do? Under the kotatsu.
You're back.
God damn it! I'm thirsting. Alright, we'll save here. That's a good fucking almost 3 hours. Whew, good games. Let's go Naoto.